Well, Louisville won the toss. They will defer to the second half, so Wake Forest to receive, and they'll be on offense to get this thing going. They are right now leading the ACC in total offense per game. They're getting 515 yards per game in offense. Outstanding on third down, and they almost never turn the football over.
You know, they're a disciplined team, and I think, you know, Dave Clawson has talked so much about having smart players here, and it's shown up. It seems like they've learned from mistakes that have cost them games, and that's one of the reasons that they're, you know, so well respected in that area.
A beautiful night for a game with a full moon here over Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Thanks so much for joining us for Wake Forest and Louisville on this Saturday night. And the Cardinals to kick off to get it underway. Christian Beal-Smith, one of the running backs. And now Walker, Kenny Walker, an outstanding freshman across the 20 and up near the 25-yard line. That's where they will get things cooking under Jamie Newman, the junior quarterback leading the ACC in total yards per game. Passing efficiency, we mentioned all the touchdown passes. He's thrown at least one touchdown pass in every game he has started in his career.
And I think one of the things that sticks out in terms of his game is that he throws a catchable ball. When you have big receivers on the outside, you want to give them a chance to make a play on it. He's excellent at doing that.
Very calm there, and usually puts it right on the money. And he's got receivers as well, and a flag immediately on the very first play in the opening seconds.
False start. Offense number 75. 5-yard penalty. First down.
But you talk about how interesting their offense is. This isn't the way they wanted to get started tonight, but clearly this is a very unique look that they're going to give you.
You really don't see anyone else, you know, in the country doing what they do, and you know, it's surprising because I do think there are elements of what they do offensively that give them an advantage.
So first down and 15. There's that walk-up. He's going to throw it, though, and it's going to be incomplete, intended for Surratt. Really one of his favorite two receivers along with Scotty Washington. Surratt has caught 34 passes and 6 touchdowns already this season. And they're going to go quickly. Newman to throw. Off the hand, incomplete. Wanted Hinton on that one. Covered well by Russ Yeast.
And Dave, these are the situations that really Wake does not want to be in. You know, you see the substitution from Louisville. They're in their dime, you know, third and long defense. They don't want to be living in that. They want to be able to be in a situation where they're playing tempo.
Hinton will bust free after the catch. Kendall Hinton, another very dangerous receiver, picks up 17. And they're going to move the chains.
You just see the bunch look here. And as Newman decided to kind of move around, there's a lot of bodies in there. Not great route distribution, but was able to find Hinton.
Quarterback will step up across the 40-yard line. Newman can do that too. Okeke bringing him down, but he's a guy who can also run. He rushed for 78 yards against North Carolina and has run for over 300 yards and 3 touchdowns. Cade Carney with him in the backfield. And they will walk it up together. And nothing there as he meets a wall for the Cardinals. And taken down by Kane Pass, the senior. Gain of 3. Boy, and they love to work fast, don't they? Out of the shotgun this time, yet another look. He'll roll right. Got hit as he threw the football out of bounds. Good pressure there by Etheridge.
You know, when they get into these drop-back situations, it looks like they want to work the isolation routes to Sage Surratt. He's getting single coverage, just not able to get enough separation there. I think when you think about Wake's wide receivers, not a ton of speed, but the size, and it's about catching contested passes, but you know, as you can see there, not a whole lot of room for Jamie Newman to put the football.
And that one's going to be boomed down to the 1-yard line. And it does get into the end zone. Almost pinned them back into tremendous position. That was 57 yards with that punt. So Louisville coming out offensively. Mikael Cunningham, the quarterback. took over for Puma Pass when Pass went down with an injury. Cunningham injured his knee last week, but he has practiced all week and he'll go tonight.
And it didn't seem like there was any question about that. And I do believe that's a good thing for Louisville's offense because he is a special athlete.
Rolling right and has some room to maneuver, and he can do that too across the 30, the 35, the 40. At midfield, finally he's taken down. Not a huge gain. Cunningham getting rolling.
Just opening up the game with a boot, a play action. I mean, the over isn't even covered when you look at Dawkins coming across the field. And as a quarterback, it's an amazing feeling. You turn around thinking there might be someone in your face, and there's no one there, which is why he's able to have the big pickup.
Got 32 yards worth on his first carry. And we'll hand off to Hawkins, who could not quite get to the 50-yard line. We talk about McHale Cunningham. Made news last Saturday when the Louisville quarterback's name was announced as McHale, not the more familiar Malik Cunningham, which is actually his middle name. He was turning 21 the next day, so the renaming had a purpose. Even though his coach, head coach Scott Satterfield, still refers to him as Malik.
And a lot of his teammates do the same thing.
Most of them. Wants to throw, and it's going to be incomplete. He wanted Des Fitzpatrick, the 6'2 junior, but incomplete.
And that was really just a miss by McHale Cunningham there. Play action, he's got Fitzpatrick on a one-on-one and just overshoots him to the outside.
He says, by the way, I respond to both names. His mom says she'll call him Malik until he says something different, but she's all good with it. And she said she even invoked the legendary son of Louisville when she said, it's just like Muhammad Ali, you have to respect what you want to be called. 3rd down and 12. Time to throw. And across the 50, and he tumbles out of bounds. Tied up by Bothroyd on a 4-yard gain.
Blake does a nice job here. They get into a zone coverage. It's just a 4-man pressure as Masterson comes, and you see the zone coverage is really nowhere for Cunningham to go with the football. And Bothroyd, pretty impressive effort running down Cunningham, who, as I mentioned, is a really good athlete. It's a pretty good stand by that Wake defense after, a really nice drive opener for that Louisville offense on the big run by Cunningham.
So Mason King back to punt. And Kendall Hinton back at the 10-yard line for Wake Forest. And the punt is short. And a fair catch right around the 20-yard line. We'll take the break. Just getting underway here tonight at Wake Forest.
Offensively, the ball is the program. We chin that thing, we hand it to the official, and then the gas pedal's got to go. We've got to play fast. Let's do it like we always do it, men. Together. Let's go.
Wake Forest head coach Dave Clawson, and they want to get it and go. Last 2 seasons, it's really worked tremendously well. The most prolific offensive years in Wake Forest history. And this season, at this pace, Tim, they're going to beat that.
It's really incredible with how quickly they go. It's a great example of it. As this ball is spotted, you just look at the offensive line is there and ready to go. They have been stepping on the gas pedal, and they look like they're going to do it again tonight.
He's got receivers to do it, and he's got a big hole there, but the ball is loose in a fumble, and Louisville says they have it, and they do. Burns forcing the fumble, and Louisville will take over at 11:05 to go here in the first.
Yeah, and as Cade Carney comes through the hole, it just helmet on the football, and that's really out of character for Cade Carney. He's been so reliable for them. He's a captain. He runs hard, been secure with the football, and that's a brutal turnover inside their own 30-yard line.
So 1st and 10 here for the Cardinals. And great field position after they forced the fumble. And a handoff here for Hawkins. Not a lot of room on that left side as the pile finds him. Gain of 1 yard. Taken down by Basham. Now you talk about how rarely he fumbles. First fumble in the last 359 carries. The last team he fumbled against was Louisville.
Yeah, that's what I was alluding to. He's been so reliable for them. I think it's one of the reasons that he's been their featured back.
It's always going to run free and trying to cut back inside. Got down to the 12-yard line. Greer finally stopped him. But Hawkins so tough to take down on that first hit. That's a gain of 14.
Yeah, and when you look at what Louisville does offensively, they like to run zone run plays, outside zone and inside roads and inside zone runs. And then that fake reverse, what that'll do is it'll get defenders to kind of widen out or come up the field, which is why there was such a big hole.
1st and 10. The handoff again. He's going to spin around and try and cut back inside once again. Look at the motor on Hawkins. Go back to that previous play.
This is what I mean, is you see Atwell coming around. You just see how that impacts the defense. Asang Bassi comes up the field rather than squeezing it tight, and that's why there's a hole to cut back into.
So 2nd down and 5. Louisville on the march. Hawkins cutting to the end zone and a touchdown. An 8-yard sprint and immediately take advantage of the turnover to take a 6-0 lead. And Hawkins with a star turn after the fumble.
And it's that run game, you know, and you think about what Louisville wants to do on offense and kind of talking about their receiver, it still starts with their run game up front. Good job of the guys at the offensive line, and it's also a great block by Marshawn Ford, their fullback.
Atlantic Creeky on for the point after, and it is good to make it 7-0 Cardinals.
Well, big play on defense by the Louisville Cardinals. You turn that football over, give your offense great field position, and then all about the run game, pounding the football inside the 10-yard line.
Would you rescue me?
Orange Bowl 2007, saw Muhammad Ali, Arnold Palmer, and Dwayne Ray, the honorary captains. Louisville defeating Wake 24-13. They finished 12-1 under Bobby Petrino. First major bowl victory in 15 years. Their 7th meeting, Louisville leading 4-2, although Wake Forest has won the last 2. And Louisville on the board. Off the turnover, they cashed in on just 4 plays and pounced into the end zone. So Creaky to kick off. And Beal Smith with a fair catch, and Tim break down that run.
Well, it's a zone run play, which means the offensive linemen, they're going to move together to the left. But really the play is made by Marshawn Ford, the tight end fullback that's right here. Watch the block that he gets on Carlos Basham, the best defensive player for Wake Forest. Not only does he get him down, but he gets the linebacker down as well, and that is why Hawkins was able to make that little jump cut and find his way into the end zone. That is an outstanding block by Marshawn Ford, who is a walk-on who earned a scholarship this year. And really, he's the reason they just scored a touchdown.
Hawkins, by the way, coming off a career day against Boston College, 177 yards, so he's coming in hot. Going to throw immediately here on 1st down, and a little behind the receiver, but complete. That one caught by Surratt.
And Dave, you said a little behind the receiver, and you're exactly right, but I think that's where these big receivers want it. Just kind of on that back hip. Use your big body to shield the defender. Nice pickup.
A 6'3", about 215 pounds. Complete to Hinton. So Wake Forest trying to get something going offensively here. Pickup of just 2 yards there to bring up 2nd down and 8. Christian Beal Smith is the sophomore running back. Able to throw, and that one free. And Wake Forest pouncing on that. Incomplete.
You just take a look at what happens. You run on throw these perimeter throws. Well, the corners are just going to see it and hit it. And Chandler Jones just shoots his gun, fires it, and he's the one that makes the play there.
Hillman back to throw. Stepping up, fires, and incomplete. Wanted the tight end, Chapman. And once again, an incomplete pass. So on 4th down and 8, they're going to have to punt again. Tom Maggio, the punter, busy early on here for the Demon Deacons, who again are undefeated coming in, a perfect 5-0. And their offense has been churning out the yards in previous games, but so far they're being shut down by the Cardinals. Burns back, a fair catch inside the 10-yard line. Now, Louisville had a little bit of fun. Their coaches, I mean, you talk about guys who are fired up. Wayne Ledford, he is something else, the offensive coordinator.
Well, he's something else. Look at the defensive line coach. He's already, Mark Hoppy's bloodied.
Yes, he was bleeding.
Look at this.
Bloody nose.
I mean, I think both, you know, I think it has shown itself up. You see these coaches all fired up, getting their guys going. I don't know that it's necessary, but it seems like their players are responding to it.
It may not be necessary, but the players dig it. Ledford's got a broken hand, for crying out loud. Pretty good hit here as Dawkins goes down, hit by Amari Henderson.
You mentioned Ledford's broken hand. You know, he was just hitting with his left hand, and then all of a sudden he got too excited, and here comes the right hand back into the mix. Almost like he didn't learn his lesson.
2nd down and 1 here for the Cardinals. He snapped that 9-game losing streak in the ACC last week. Great game, 41-39. Great offensive game against Boston College for sure. Hawkins trying to churn on that right side, but he's denied by Tyler Williams. Another look at Ivy. This is something else when you've got a coach who's bleeding before the game.
I mean, and the coach has said, you know, well, he'll come and he'll change his shirt after pregame, and they're like, you know, he's just bruised and battered at that point. I mean, the physical toll.
Did you play for any coach who is that fired up before a game?
No, I don't think I've ever seen someone do that. And Scott Satterfield was very clear. It's like, you know, you don't have to do that. Our players are excited to play on their own.
Yeah. Getting it back to throw, and now we'll run it out. Takes a shot there at the 20-yard line, but picking up the first. Smenda with the hit.
I think the really nice part of this is the finish of the run by Cunningham. They're thinking they're getting man. They run crossers, nothing's there. And so now as you're getting up the field, you just see him try to split the defenders and to fall forward for the first down. That's good, smart running by the quarterback.
Little pitch here to Atwell, who's got very good speed. Tried to find the edge on the outside, but runs out of play.
And you see Atwell just coming in motion. That's that fly sweep. What's amazing is they don't even block Johns, the outside linebacker in that situation, but it's just the speed by Tutu Atwell getting to the perimeter that he's able to turn the corner.
Now 7 different Louisville players caught a pass against Boston College. They keep this and dump it off. Lost the helmet on the play. That was Keon Wakefield, taken down by Trey Rucker, but a gain of 17.
This is a cool play. It's a zone read. The quarterback can keep it as a runner, but if he has pursuit coming to him, he can flip it out. It's basically today's version of the triple option. You have the dive, you have the quarterback run, or the pitch man. It's just an overhand pitch rather than the traditional option pitch.
Wakefield will sit out of play. Here's Hassan Hall, his first carry, but nothing there. Ja'Cory Johns, the first man to meet him, and took him down. So that'll bring up 2nd down and 12 here for the Cardinals.
And seeing what I'm saying, that was a misdirection kind of wind back run. If I am Louisville, I just stay using my speed to the perimeter. You know, don't mess with misdirection at this point. Just use your speed to your advantage and try to get to the edge that way.
Cunningham scampering, throwing on the move, and that one complete to Dawkins. Dawkins breaks free to the right side. He's headed for the end zone. He's in for a touchdown. 55 yards for the touchdown for Louisville. They take a 13-0 lead.
It's an amazing, amazing play by the quarterback, because as you see Mikhail Cunningham, he climbs inside in the pocket. Now he escapes. He could be a runner. Take off and run. Instead, he wants to remain a passer as long as possible before getting to the line of scrimmage, and that's what makes the play before Dawkins is able to make the great move.
And he's coming off a monster game against Boston College, 170 receiving yards. He is off to the races again tonight. And the extra point is good. Just over 3 minutes, a 7-play drive, 92 yards, and a long run.
When we thought the speed of Louisville might be a problem for Wake, as you see there, the speed in open space really working for Louisville tonight.
Well, a terrific start for the Louisville Cardinals, taking on the number 19 team in the country. You know, the night started for Wake Forest on a penalty on their very first play, a flag drop. They hardly ever get penalized. The least penalized team in America coming into play tonight. They don't turn it over, but they turn it over for a big fumble. That led almost immediately to a touchdown. So everything going the Cardinals' way, and they're making it happen, too. So now we will see if Wake Forest has an answer. And Mikhail Cunningham, along with Javen Hawkins and an outstanding wide receiver core, off to a 14-0 start.
Yeah, and you wonder if coming off a bye week is impacting the team. You know, a little bit of being sluggish in that regard. And this is really where, if you're Wake Forest, you want the veterans of your team, the guys that have been through this before, to kind of settle your team down, somebody make a play so you can get into the rhythm of your offense.
This is Wake Forest's largest deficit they have faced this season, believe it or not. Newman, time to throw. Here's it out here to Hinton. Trying for the sideline. He's taken down. Let's get down to Katie.
Well, I asked Jamie Newman about those bye week struggles, and he said he and his teammates don't shy away from the topic. The players know they haven't been at their best in the past when they've gotten extra time off. So this year they focused on maximizing rest and recovery. But he said the importance of urgency was pivotal. They wanted to throw the first punch out here tonight against Louisville, and as you've seen, they haven't been able to do that. So it'll be interesting to see how they respond.
Yeah, 0-6 coming off a bye week. That tells you a lot. And tonight struggling coming off a bye week again. Newman to fire, and a short pass complete there on the 35-yard line to Frudenthal, the tight end at 6'3", out of Richmond, Virginia. That'll pick up a first down and a gain of 6.
And that's a huge first down because now they're in the rhythm and tempo of their offense.
Still looking to go as quick as they can. Complete to Washington, another fumble. Yeah, they're going to get that back. Fortunately for Wake, Carney, the man to recover it.
Great effort by Carney. He's following the play. Washington catches the football. I think he has possession, and it's punched out.
Across the 50. And another first down, Kendall Hinton. That's a pickup of 8. So staying with that ultra-fast tempo. 1st and 10. Newman looking longer this time. He's going to fire incomplete. Intended for Hinton again.
You know, when a play like that actually is a benefit to the defense, obviously it's incomplete. But because the ball's in the field and you have to spot it, look at it, how it actually slowed the offense down just a touch for that Louisville defense.
So 2nd down for Jamie Newman, who's gotten off to such a great start this season, the junior. And we'll hand off here for Carney. Stopped by C.J. Avery, but not before pickup of 6 yards. So 3rd and 4 coming up. And on 3rd down, they have been nothing short of outstanding. 54% they've converted this year. The quarterback to keep Newman. And a case in point right there. Finally stopped by pass, but he picked up the first with a 9-yard scamper.
Yeah, and you look at Louisville, they're looking at the sideline for the call. They're not down in 3-point stances, and the ball snapped, and here you have a 230-pound quarterback running a lead play.
Wants to throw, heading for the end zone. Overthrown. Surratt once again, but too long. Jones with the cover.
Offense number 75, 10-yard penalty. Still 1st down.
You see Surratt, you know, he's on top of him. Jamie Newman just overthrows him a little bit. Looked like Surratt slowed down. Obviously the holding penalty wouldn't have mattered, but you can see the ability of Surratt to even get on top just as a runner on Chandler Jones. And that seems to be the matchup that they really want to take advantage of.
So the hole brings up 1st and 20. And handing off again for Carney. So 2nd and long here as we approach 3 minutes to go in the first quarter, and Louisville on top 14-0 here at Wake. 2nd down 19. Has time to throw. And out of bounds. Scotty Washington, the intended receiver, the 6'5", 225-pound senior, who's caught 27 passes, 6 touchdowns this season.
Yeah, and that's why that's just a long foul ball, Dave. Keep it in play. You have a 6'5" wide receiver going up against a 5'11" corner. Give him a chance to touch the football. Throwing it out of bounds ends up being a wasted play, and now you're in 3rd and forever.
Yeah, going up against Anthony Johnson. He has him by about 5 inches. So here's the 11th play of this drive. 3rd and 19 for Newman. Time in the pocket. Looks to the middle and caught. Complete by right to Hinton, and he threw a bullet to him for the completion.
And Hinton's the receiver that works inside. A former quarterback, has a nice feel and does a good job of continuing to work for his quarterback.
Gain of 25 yards. Pitches this one. Friedenthal, that's the tight end. Let's go back to the previous play.
Yeah, you look at the previous play, it's great pass protection. Only a 3-man rush. Part of the reason he has so much time, but a good job of the guys up front. And that's what allows Hinton to work that second window.
So 2nd down and 5. Last 2 minutes of the first quarter. Able to throw again. Wants the end zone. That one is caught. And a touchdown. Sage Surratt, who has an awful lot to handle. A 12-yard touchdown pass to get Wake on the scoreboard.
And it's that matchup I was just talking about. It's Sage Surratt on Chandler Jones. Size is just too much. It's press with no help. He does a good job of not extending his arms to push off and just uses his big body to shield the defender and catch the football. And you can see the trust that Jamie Newman has in throwing that back shoulder ball to Sage Surratt.
So Nick Skiba on for the extra point for the Demon Deacons, and that'll make it 14-7. And for Surratt now, that's a touchdown pass that he has caught in 8 consecutive games.
8 consecutive games, and it's his quarterback giving him a chance. And the big wide receivers for Wake starting to show themselves in this contest.
Well, 14-7, Wake Forest on the board here. They converted 3 third downs on that drive.
Dave, you mentioned how good they've been on 3rd down. I think Dave Clausen and his staff do a really nice job of practicing situations, not just running plays. And it's benefited them on 3rd down, and it certainly benefited them in some of these 2-minute and 4-minute situations they faced this year.
Well, Hall's going to keep on scampering. He's across the 30, finds a big opening. He's across the 40, the 20, the 10, and he is all the way into the end zone. No flags on the play, and another touchdown for the Cardinals. 100 yards. Got a pretty good block there from Justin Marshall, too.
And Dave, what was incredible is when he fields it in the end zone, it's almost like he looks back to the official like he was going to end up, with a touchback. And it was almost a late decision that threw off the kick coverage. That was absolutely amazing.
Hassan Hall, 100 yards, an electrifying run on a kickoff return to make it 21-7.
Hassan Hall is going to field this football. Looks like he was a little unsure if he was going to wave. And say that little hesitation, I think that threw, these Wake Forest kick coverage guys off a little bit. As he fields the football, I don't know if he just maybe You see, I mean, like, he's waiting. He's fielding it in the end zone and waiting, and then off he goes. And it seems like the kick coverage for Wake Forest at that point was basically from the hash mark over, which is why when he cuts it back, there's no one left. Maybe they needed her on the kick coverage.
Well, you know, Hall had been averaging about 26 yards per return. That average is going way up after a sensational kickoff return to make it 21-7. It took 14 seconds to get out of the end zone all the way to the other end of the field.
And just when you think as a team, you know, you score on offense and respond after being down 14-0, you talk about wind coming out of your sails a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
And you kick the football off and it goes back 100 yards.
So Louisville kicking off. And here's Walker choosing not to run that one out. A fair catch with 1:45 to go. And so Wake Forest to take over on offense, and they have been punched in the mouth tonight on a couple of occasions. Louisville seemingly intent on knocking them from the ranks of the unbeaten here and off to a tremendous start. And only the first quarter. It's not done yet.
It's only the first quarter, and Louisville's defense has already had to be on the field for 25 plays to give you a sense of how fast Wake is going.
Going to throw, and incomplete. He wanted Stephen Claude, one of his more reliable receivers. He's senior from Miami, but incomplete. So Newman 11 out of 19. 109 yards so far. Walker again is running back as they will walk it up. And that disappears quickly, covered quickly by Burns. Najee Burns all over him to take him down. And really silencing this crowd that was -2. So 3rd down and 12. And they're looking downfield, and they're all over him, and down he goes, and the football loose again. A forced fumble by Monty Montgomery.
Montgomery does a great job of just retracing his steps. Herron, the left tackle, ends up doing a pretty good job on him. Watch Herron, the left tackle. He's going to do a good job of riding Montgomery, who's coming off the edge there, up the field. But as Newman holds on to the football, look at him just retrace and then slap down at the football. A little Lawrence Taylor move with that chop. He gets the football out. And you start to fire up your defensive line coach, who got you fired up to start the game.
So the punt on 4th and 17. Long punt here by Maggio. Going to bring this one out. Here's Atwell cutting back inside. They miss him again. And he's going to get down close to the 12-yard line. Boy, special teams have been sensational for the Cardinals here early on.
They've been sensational, but part of it, you know, when you look at the kickoff return, it was a great play. This was a great design by the Louisville return team. Basically, they run 2 returners deep. And as we run this deep, when they see a returner down to the bottom of your screen, it's going to affect the coverage team for Wake Forest. You see guys running down to the bottom of the screen because of this return man over here. But the problem is the guy with the football is at the top of the screen. And so it just distorted the coverage for Wake Forest.
Atwell with a return of 50. Hawkins going to try and jump inside and stopped on that gain. And Louisville on top 21-7 in the final seconds of the first quarter. They really have shocked Wake Forest, particularly on special teams, including a 100-yard kickoff return. So that's the end of the first. And Louisville 21-7. Wake Forest in early trouble here at home tonight in Winston-Salem. Welcome back to ACC Network Primetime Football presented by Geico. Louisville Cardinals 150 yards on 2 kick returns, a kickoff and a punt. And 2nd down and 6. So knocking on the door again. They could really break it wide open. Run and the throw, and it's going to be incomplete. to Atwell. Intended for.
Looks like Ford, Marshawn Ford, the fullback who kind of leaped out of there. Dave, I'm a little surprised, you know, that he was line up and try to run it right down their throat with the way you've been moving them around and the way Hawkins has been running the football.
Late sub, 3rd down and 6. And down to 5 on the clock. Now to 2. Got it off. And will throw. And diving into the end zone. And did he step out? It is a touchdown. 2-2 Atwell gets in. A 9-yard touchdown reception.
And you look at what happens here. Atwell's just going to run an out route, but as Fitzpatrick runs up the field, these two defenders for Wake, they end up getting caught in the wash and they can't keep up with Atwell's speed. And that's why when he catches a little flat route, he ends up walking into the end zone.
Let's see if he got in. And they are going to review the play.
And you know, it's dangerous when you have an offensive player, really anyone crossing the goal line, reaching out with the football. You know, you're lucky that that ball doesn't hit the ground and come loose and, you know, end up looking like a fumble. But that clearly, if you freeze it right there, that's great. That's a touchdown as he's reaching inside the pylon. And again,
looks good from here.
And Dave, the 150-pound Atwell has just got so much quickness and speed. And you can just see the difference out on the field.
After further review, the ruling on the field is confirmed.
2-2 Atwell. Don't short him on the poundage. 155. You got him at 150.
That must have been after dinner.
After dinner.
But you can't hit what you can't catch. And it's certainly been the case for Atwell tonight.
I think it's been true of the Louisville Cardinals as a team tonight. Ricky on for the extra point to make it 28-7. One more look at the touchdown.
It's just a good job, good patience by Atwell getting to the perimeter, and then good accurate ball by Cunningham. Speed to the edge for the score.
I don't think anybody really saw them jumping out like this, Tim.
No, and I think it's partly because of the uncharacteristic play by Wake Forest when you think about the turnovers. But look, you just look at what this offense is doing. You know, Mikhail Cunningham, who was injured last time out, really been on fire, and it's been the speed at wide receiver that's been a problem.
Beal Smith to bring it out across the 20-yard line before he is tied up.
And just think, you know, just getting movement in the run game. Good job with Dawkins cutting it back. Big plays in the passing game. And then big plays on special teams as well. When you think about, you know, Hall and just a little hesitation and a 100-yard return. And that was right after a Wake Forest score, which was a nice counter punch, which leads to the Atwell touchdown.
So early moments of the second quarter, 28-7 the Cardinals. We'll see if the Demon Deacons have an answer as the number 19 team in the country off the fingertips, and that's going to be incomplete. Roberson, the intended receiver, could not hang on.
And you look at this is that long mesh, and watch Jamie Newman walk this ball up. He basically throws this thing from the line of scrimmage, gets hit in the head. I think Louisville's lucky that they get a, you know, roughing the passer call as he gets hit in the head, and it's another drop for Wake Forest.
Rubenthal, the tight end, and back to that hit.
And as you see it, I mean, that's, listen, I know it's not a vicious blow to the head, but we've seen that called as roughing the passer throughout this season.
Monty Montgomery there, staggering Newman, back to throw. Time to unleash when a flag down, incomplete. Flag dropped around the 50. He wanted Surratt. 14:07 to go here in the first half.
Holding, defense number 27. The foul is against an eligible receiver, 10-yard penalty, first down.
You just see it. I mean, he's just hands all over him, and he's basically holding him the entire time. And I think the plan for Louisville is going to be to, hey, be physical with these big guys. You can't just play off them and let them use their body to shield you. And so, got a little too handsy there on Sage Surratt.
1st and 10. And a handoff for Beal Smith. He'll pick up 4 yards. Well, you're Wake Forest now. You're playing at home. You're 5-0. Everything's gone your way so far this season. And now you have just been knocked right in the chin. Here's Bill Smith, and finally dragged down after a first down run by Ty Tyler.
And it's a great example of what they do with Jamie Newman. He's going to walk it up there. Look at him shield the defender. He's basically the backside cutoff block. Was the last 2 plays. And that's one of the reasons that slow developing play doesn't get run down from behind.
1st and 10. He's going to throw long. And that one's dropped, and a flag on the play. Chandler Jones right there with Stephen Claude, but a flag.
Pass interference, defense number 2. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot, first down.
And it's Chandler Jones again that they're going after. This time it's Claude, and he gets on top of him. And it's a beautiful throw by Jamie Newman, and clearly Jones is there early. And Dave, Louisville's jumped out on these guys, but you just look at 24 4th or 5th year seniors on this Wake team. I do not think they'll go away quietly.
Carney cutting back inside on a very powerful run before he's dragged down by Gilliam.
The thing that's really impressed me by Carney and Beal Smith is that even though they're walking up to the line of scrimmage, once they know they have the football, then they're able to step on the gas and hit the hole hard, as Carney did there.
1st and goal, he'll get another carry. Taking people with him. Another strong effort. Pass eventually stopping him.
And that's what I mean. You look at Carney, and this is the play prior. Use the ref for a little pick. But you see he's walking up to the line of scrimmage. But then when it's time to go, he goes. And so you see that run, and then the previous run, he finishes with power.
2nd and goal. Wake trying to climb right back in it. And fired in the end zone, and a touchdown. The strike to Surratt. From just 3 yards out, but a bullet. And the Demon Deacons in dire need of that score.
And when you look at what they do is they're going to fake this run, and look at the impact that it has on these linebacker level players. And Surratt just going to use that big body to get inside. There's that run fake, the impact on the linebacker level players, and then a good job of having big strong hands reaching out to the football by Sage Surratt.
So Skiba on for the point after, and he will drill that to make it 28-14.
We expected a lot of scoring, and we're getting it. Look at Surratt work inside, extend the hands, big wide receivers coming bullies down near the goal line.
Tim Hasselbeck, Dave O'Brien with his Sage Surratt with another catch, and twice he's gotten into the end zone. And Sage, just a couple hours ago, a little chill in the air, but he doesn't mind.
He doesn't mind. What's amazing is that he has copied your pregame routine to go hood with nothing else. That's incredible.
That's exactly right.
Did you guys talk prior to?
Well, yeah, we're tight, Sage and I. No question about it. We shared notes. His 7 plays, 74 yards. That was 2:24, just 2 minutes and 24 seconds on the answer. His Hall has already broken off a long one. Not this time. Barely got across the 20-yard line to bring up 1st and 10 for the Cardinals. Man, we've seen a lot of football here already tonight.
We really have, and we were expecting a lot of offense, which we've seen a lot of offense. Seen some big plays in the kicking game. And we're not going to be done. I mean, the reality is when you watch these teams play all season long, they basically bring fireworks, and it's going to be interesting to see how Louisville responds.
Wake almost twice as many plays, 35-18, but the punt and the kickoff, a big pile here. Those have made all the difference. Hawkins could find no room. Williams wrapped him up. Gain of 1. Second down and 9. We'll see if one of the teams stops to catch their breath as we're inside 12 minutes to go in the first half here at Wake. Mikhail Cunningham, the sophomore, leading the charge here with Hawkins in the backfield. He's going to roll. He's going to keep it. Looking for the first down. Oh, got upended. And the football is loose. Picked up by Red. And Red taken down inside the 5. And the wildness continues. Greer forcing the fumble. And Cunningham upended, took a wicked hit. And let's see if he can continue. They've had to play 3 quarterbacks this season. Boy, really struggling to get to his feet.
That was a really, finish to the carry for Cunningham. He's running here. He gets upended because the corner from the outside, and that ball looks like it's out, and
wow,
it's hard to tell, what Cunningham hurts. You see he's wearing a knee brace. He's hit low. He's wearing a knee brace on that right knee, and it looks like he takes a hit on that leg. Ball comes out and lands on his head, but that ball is out.
Spectacular hit as Nasir Greer, he forced the fumble.
Yeah, and that, Greer, who Atwell is blocking, tackles him low. He doesn't see him coming. And I think that's why, he probably lets go of the football as he's going down to the ground there. He needed help getting up. He had injured his left leg earlier this season, his right leg last week. That's why he was wearing a brace. That's why he's in the tent, and it's important to remember that Evan Conley, because Puma Pass, who started the season, is out, is the backup.
After further review, the ruling on the field is confirmed.
A fumble and a 35-yard return in an absolutely wild game so far.
It really was a bad play by Red. You see him, he loses contain, and then Cunningham's going to use his athleticism. But Nasir Greer, who's an aggressive, hard-hitting player, makes a great play on the athletic Cunningham. And then Red atones for his mistakes, picks the football up, and gives Wake Forest offense a great starting position.
And first and goal here for Wake, trailing 28-14. Cardi trying to run it off to the left. And into a pile there. Burns the first man to meet him. To bring up second and goal. Wake fighting their way back in it despite some sensational plays against them. And now they make one defensively to force the fumble on a spectacular play. Gilman to run. Diving ahead. He takes a pretty good lick and did not get in. Etheridge with the stop. With strong safety.
There's a big collision between Etheridge and Jamie Newman. And, Newman is a big, powerful runner. And as he cuts this up and tries to get in the end zone, that's a great effort. Way to deliver a blow by Etheridge down near the goal line.
Down to the 1-yard line. Third and goal. Carney trying to get in, awfully close there. Does not look like he made it. Oh, yes, he did. He's in. Touchdown. What a comeback here for Wake Forest. Cade Carney from 1 yard out.
Ruling on the field, touchdown. Previous play is under further review.
As you can see, it's a great look there as you see Carney with the football in his hands. Now the question ends up being, is any part of his body down? And in that scrum there, Dave, I don't know how you're going to be able to tell.
Yes, exactly. Well, it took them a long time to give the touchdown. I don't know how you can refute that. As you said, in that pile.
Yeah, I don't know how you're going to end up turning it over, but the coaching point is, for the offensive linemen, is hey, score with your man. But you look at the personnel grouping that Wake has out there. They've got Freudenthal in Washington basically as kind of tight ends in a goal line set, except for Washington's a wide receiver. However, he is 6'5", 225, and they're basically running behind him. They do a good job of getting movement, and then Carney, who had that fumble early, has responded well.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands.
Cade Carney with a touchdown. So it stands 28-20. And Skiba for the point after. On what has been some first half. And still 10 minutes to go. 10 minutes and 15 seconds here at Wake Forest. And he will drill that. 28-21. Turnovers have been a big part of this.
They've been a huge part of it. As you just look at Wake Forest defense doing a good job of getting the football back. Outstanding play by Nasir Greer. And we said we weren't done with offense as Cade Carney and that Wake group punch it in down from inside the 5-yard line.
Well, this is just a partial game summary. We're trying to keep up 7 touchdowns in just under 20 minutes of play, Tim.
It's really been incredible, the explosion and the points and the plays on special teams and the turnovers that are really created by good plays on defense. And, not surprising to see a veteran team like Wake Forest with so many seniors respond after getting punched early.
Ball will drop it, now scoop it. And trying to bring it out across the 20. He gets stuck. And a pretty good stop by Sternad. Now inside that 10, still Mikhail Cunningham, the starting quarterback for Louisville. The freshman, Evan Conley, who's the number 3 man, who was forced into the BC game after Cunningham hurt his knee. On his second career pass, he connected to Tutu Atwell on a 62-yard scoring drive. He's forced in again.
Dave, you mentioned the BC game. He was fantastic in that game, and the coaches have been really impressed. 4.0 in his first semester in college. Smart kid who has really picked things up in this offense and played well when he's had the opportunity.
He's going to throw, and it's going to be complete. Good catch there by Atwell out around the 50. And Atwell gets up, picking up the first down stop by Henderson.
And really what they're going to do is they're going to run a post deep cross combination, and watch the job of Connolly as he allows for Atwell to get across there, and look at the touch to get it over the one defender and drop it down into Atwell. That is impressive for your first throw in a game coming off a bench.
Yeah, it goes for 28 yards. And they're going to run it here on first down. And Conley was going to Appalachian State with Coach Satterfield, but he decided to come to Louisville. The coach took the job here, and he's had quite a learning curve.
He has, and Dwayne Ledford, the offensive coordinator, said he was pretty wide-eyed when we got him in the spring and even in fall camp, but he's really started to grasp it. And I think that he's the type of quarterback that Satterfield wants here, and if he was recruiting him to App and convinced him, I'm sure Evan Conley felt like, well, hey, this is a coach that believes in me. I might have a chance to play, and he's getting it again.
Going to throw to Dawkins on the near side. So that'll bring up third down here for the Cardinals. 4-yard pickup. Got an impressive game last week against Boston College. He wound up 10 of 16, 140 yards, a touchdown. Did not throw an interception. Very smart game, too.
And because the other quarterbacks have been banged up, he's gotten a lot of the reps in practice, which has prepared him for the game. It's also helped win over his football team in terms of them having confidence in him.
All the running back here on third down and 4. And Conley wants to throw over the top. And denied by Henderson. Intended for Dawkins. (28-21). We're trying to catch our breath.
It's a great read as you see Dawkins is winning over the top. Conley sees it beautifully. He's just not able to get enough on it. As you see the pressure, he's not able to follow through with the football. But it was the perfect read, just not the perfect throw because of the pressure by Bothroyd.
Well, they're going to go for it here on 4th and 4. We've had 13 possessions, none longer than 3.5 minutes, and a timeout with 8:21 to go. And a timeout, Wake Forest, here in the first half. Let's go down to Katie.
Guys, Jamie Newman was just taken to the locker room moments ago for an x-ray of his shoulder. Sophomore Sam Hartman was on the phone with the offensive coordinator. He's got his helmet on, getting prepared to go in and take over.
All right, Katie, thank you very much for the update on this play when he took a lick. So apparently we're about to see the backups for both teams in the first half.
And Dave, you know, you called it on that hit with Etheridge, the big collision down near the goal line. Newman's coming off. What's interesting is a year ago to start the season, Sam Hartman was the starting quarterback because Jamie Newman was competing for the job and was injured at the end of camp. Now Cunningham out of the tent, kind of in and out of the game a week ago. But it's good after that kind of vicious hit from Nasir Greer.
Oh, yeah.
To see him out of the tent and even looking like returning to the game is a possibility.
Yeah, this is not only heartwarming, by the way, for Louisville Cardinal fans, for all of us after the knock that he took, to see him back out there with a chance to return to play. Right now, Conley has the team 4th and 4. And a lot of targets to throw to, and a flag.
False start. Offense number 60. 5-yard penalty. Still 4th down.
You know, they call it on Haycraft the right tackle, but the reality is that McCoy, the center, doesn't snap the football. Everyone else is getting off on the snap count. McCoy's late with it, and now, you know, you're forced to punt. But we'll say if we end up seeing Conley, shows Satterfield's confidence in the true freshman quarterback. Come in the game, go for it in that situation on the 4th and 4. The false start doesn't create that opportunity for him.
It's on 4th and 9. He'll punt it here. Mason King with Hinton back around the 10-yard line. And that's going to take a bounce right down around the 2-yard line. And that's where they will take over here with 8:10 to go in the first half. 28-21 Louisville. 48-yard punt. So Sam Hartman, a sophomore out of Charlotte, North Carolina, had a good game last year against Louisville. 16-24, 2 touchdown passes. He'll take over. And from his own 2-yard line. First and 10 and a handoff for Carney, trying to get some room. Off to the left side.
Hartman, not the runner that Jamie Newman is. Not that physical, you know, kind of presence and power as a runner, but he is a good competitive player. The plan this year was to redshirt Hartman unless they found themselves in a situation like this where Jamie Newman was forced out of the game.
Gain of 1, 2nd and 9. He'll keep it and fire it and complete to Surratt. And Surratt on a catch for 13.
It's incredible. Look at this long mesh. And then also look where he throws the football from. He's throwing the football from 1.5 yards behind the line of scrimmage, which means he's making that decision late.
Carney looking for an edge. And they push him out. And look at the window he had to throw from.
Well, when you don't have a whole lot of separation from the line of scrimmage because you're walking up with that kind of ride read, you need to get creative with how to find a throwing lane, and Hartman does a good job there.
2nd and 11. Quick dish, but incomplete. Off the hands of Chapman, the tight end. He's a cool customer, man, not wearing any socks.
It's almost like he was like, nah, Jamie's good. He's got this. I mean, just
yeah. What do I need socks for?
Going with the no-shows.
He's going to throw a long one. And a tremendous catch on a play. Outstanding. Jones with a coverage on Washington. On a long bomb here by Hartman.
It's a beautiful throw by Sam Hartman. They're calling it an incomplete pass. It looks like it moves a little bit as it hits the ground here. As you see Jones raking at the football.
Oof. Calling this incomplete.
You see it kind of bump, kind of move a little bit there. It's hard to tell. The ball can hit the ground as long as you're controlling it.
Rolling on the field, it's an incomplete pass. Previous play is under further review.
Got to take a look at that.
It looks to me like his right arm might be under the football. And that's what causes the ball to kind of move and bounce up there. I think that angle from behind really shows that. You just get a sense of how big the hands are for Scotty Washington.
Now, if they change their minds on this, it's a 45-yard reception.
I just don't know, Dave, if you can tell if the point of this football doesn't hit the ground. Because it's ruled an incompletion, I think if this was ruled a completion, I think you could easily make the argument that that ball is on Scotty Washington's right arm. And yes, it moves, but it's not hitting the ground. It wouldn't be enough to overturn it. But because it was ruled an incomplete pass, I'm not sure that there's enough there to overturn it.
Phenomenal effort, nonetheless. But the ruling on the field is incomplete. Here's another angle.
Yeah, and I think this angle maybe is the best one to see where this football. See, his right arm is underneath it, and see, I think from that angle, it's hard to tell if that point is touching anything, but to me it looks like that ball is on the forearm bicep area of Scotty Washington.
I'm thinking if the football gets on the ground, well, it's loose there and he regains control. But if it's on the ground, it bounces.
But do you see?
Obviously.
It does. And so I think because they've ruled this an incompletion, it stays.
The ruling on the field stands.
There was just not enough to overturn it.
Yep.
I think if it was called the other way, there wouldn't have been enough to overturn that. And so
I got a funny feeling he caught it, but I understand your point entirely.
Yeah, and how about these backup quarterbacks coming into the game and giving wide receivers a chance? Sam Hartman did all he could there, and I think Scotty Washington basically did as well.
They're coming in slinging it. So Maggio back to punt. Burns and Atwell back to receive. And that will be out with 6:42, and some of the Wake fans booing that call on the incomplete pass, which again would have gone for 45 yards had they changed their minds. And Cunningham warming up. Great to see that after the shot he took in the fumble. Turnovers have been a huge part of the narrative here tonight. But Conley is going to go back out, the true freshman from Marietta, Georgia. Good arm strength. Coaches say the game is really slowing down for him. He's got Hawkins in the backfield. Hawkins trying to spring free. He's going to be taken down for a loss here and stopped by Red, who's been real active defensively.
Red has been active, and he's in the game because Luke Masterson was injured on that kickoff return for a touchdown by Hall earlier in the game, and He's stepped in and made a few plays. We obviously saw him on the fumble recovery earlier. That's a nice job of staying home, staying in your gap, making the play on Hawkins.
We'll see if Cunningham gets back in there tonight. 2nd down and 12 after loss of 2. And off to the right side and scampering out of bounds will be Atwell. So quick, a sophomore from Miami.
So quick and really good backfield action there with that fly sweep and then the movement of Conley and Hawkins. Confused about half of that Wake defense, and then you get Atwell's speed on the edge without defenders pursuing.
They'll pick up 15 there. So Conley's come on. 3 out of 4, 47 yards. 1st down and 10. It's Hawkins this time. Not much there off to the left at all. And Johns with a tackle. They're going to lose a yard on that play.
Johns with a tackle, and Ryan Smenda really is the one that made that play. Diagnosed it quickly that it was going to be a little bit of a read. Hit it in the hole, and that was really why there was so much penetration.
2nd down and 11. Conley, the backup. And takes the snap. He'll throw again. And incomplete. Wanted Atwell in the flat. So 3rd down and 11 for Conley and Louisville. It has been a sensational first half. Cardinals on top 28-21 for a while, Tim. It looked like they were about to run away and hide in this one.
It really did, and it's a good job of Wake of fighting their way back into it. And now Evan Conley is faced with a critical 3rd down in a tough situation here.
There's 4 receivers in. And a timeout. We'll take the break as well. 4:48 to go here before halftime. Well, it's a tough kid right here, Jamie Newman, the junior, the quarterback, coming back onto the field after getting some treatment.
And a great reaction from his team when he got there. I'm sure a pretty good reaction from Dave Clawson as well.
Like you said, I'm good to go. 3rd down 11 for the Cardinals, and a flag.
False start. Offense number 75. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
That's Robbie Bell, the 6'5" junior.
And you see on the right guard Robbie Bell. And when I first looked at it, I thought maybe the defense, as Bell's right here, I thought the defense had come over first, but I think they get that one right. A little flinch by Bell in a known passing situation.
3rd and 16. Conley on the move, has time across the 40, going to tuck it, and he takes a pretty good lick. Got hit on that play by Sternad, but picking up a first.
What a play by Evan Conley. The coaches did tell us. We asked him, is he not the athlete that Cunningham is? And they said, listen, he's a great runner. He's creative with the football, and that is an amazing, amazing effort.
I don't know if you guys can hear me or not, but I'm amongst a lot of people screaming that was targeting and they want that play to be reviewed.
I heard one of them scream, I don't know who it was, Katie, that's the definition of targeting. Heck of a tough run, though, by the young quarterback Conley.
Well, Conley's running. To me, that's not the definition of targeting. That is a ball carrier.
Previous play is under review. Further review.
Well, they will take a look, but they're not looking at targeting. They're looking to see if he made the 1st down.
Yeah, and they shouldn't be looking for targeting. Just to clarify as we heard the coaches screaming for it. This is a ball carrier, and this is a great tackle by Sternad, the linebacker number 23, and that's shoulder-to-shoulder contact there. It's hard to tell because as you see the sticks kind of being dropped a little bit as the play is on the sideline. Looks like he basically needs to get to the 33-yard line. Excuse me, the 23-yard line. I think it's a pretty good shot that he gets this.
So diving for it there.
And I think the officials did a pretty good job of spotting this one because there's a pretty good collision. And then clearly his knee, is down as he's falling down. His knee is the first thing that hits. That ball is in his right arm as he's extending it. But I think it's right about the 23-yard line. And if that's the case, that is the line to gain. And I think this will stand as a first down.
Tell you what, Strnad is going to make sure you pay for it. Number 15 in the country in tackles. The senior from Palm Harbor, Florida, has had an outstanding year.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands.
So 4.5 minutes to go before halftime. 28-21 Louisville as they pick up the first down. That's a 16-yard scamper by Conley, who certainly does not look like a true freshman. And here come the Cardinals again under a new leader, at least for the moment. Conley looking upfield, will tuck it again and slide ahead.
Yeah, and I, just to reiterate it, talking to Dwayne Ledford, the offensive coordinator for Louisville, Cunningham really jumps out at you as an outstanding runner with the football. And so I asked, I said, well, is some of that stuff going to be out of your game plan with Evan Conley being the quarterback? He said, oh no, we really believe in him as a runner. He can do that. And so our offense, how we call it, will not change one bit with him as the quarterback.
Second down and 4. And he hands off here for Hawkins, staying on his feet. Got a tough yard or two.
Hey, look at the quarterback blocking here. Not only a quarterback, a freshman quarterback hands the football off. Hawkins kind of gets, that counts as a pancake, Dave. I don't care what you say. For a quarterback, that is a pancake block. Nasir Greer, nonetheless, who we've seen tonight hit. So
sure have.
That is a pancake block for a quarterback.
All right, we'll put that in the column.
He wants to be part of the band of brothers that Dwayne Ledford has with that offensive line.
Yeah, they all wear the wristbands. Say band of brothers on a third down and 1. 3 out of 5 on third downs tonight. And whistles.
Timeout.
And a timeout by Louisville.
First charge timeout.
That's number 1 for the Cardinals.
Timeout. It'll be 30 seconds.
Well, weekday mornings on ACC Network, it's Packer and Durham exclusively talking ACC sports. From football to field hockey, Packer and Durham, they covered all every Monday through Friday from 7 to 10 a.m. Eastern on ACC Network and also on the ESPN app. Now, your brother Matt joined the guys earlier in the week, didn't they?
He did. He joined.
Your brother is a staple on this show. You may or may not.
He is. Listen, that is must-listen radio every Wednesday. Tim Hasselbeck on the radio is excellent. But, the facts are the facts, guys. You have Tim on the radio, and you have me on television on camera. So who's the better-looking brother? It's clear.
I mean, it's clear. It's clear who the better-looking brother is, Dave. We know that. We know that.
How long has that discussion been going on? Since you were, 18 months old when you could barely speak?
It's usually settled in a fight, which would end with him crying and going to my mom.
And off for Hawkins. And once again, stopped by Strnad.
Here's what I want to know, guys. I go on camera every Friday. Tim, you live in Nashville. They don't have a camera up there? You got to give the people what they want. They want to see that full head of hair, buddy.
You know something? This is interesting. You know what I mean? Matthew had a camera. Katie has a camera. Dave doesn't get invited, and I don't have a camera. I mean, there's clearly some hierarchy out of Packer and Durham. We got to work on that.
She did get the hair remark in there. So it's 4th and 1 with 2:11 to go, and Louisville with a timeout.
Second charge timeout. The timeout will be 30 seconds.
So they will take the timeout. Well, I'll tell you, this has been the wildest game you and I have seen in the ACC so far this season.
It might be the wildest game I've seen in a long time. There has been a little bit of everything. There has been a ton of offense. There have been some really good plays on defense, plays on special teams, actually great plays on special teams.
Oh, yeah.
And I think we were excited for an exciting game. We were expecting that. But I don't think either one of us thought that we were going to see 49 points, in the first half.
And 4 quarterbacks. So
and 4
far.
quarterbacks.
Yeah.
And a quarterback getting a pancake block as well, which you don't see every time out.
No, you don't. You may go weeks and weeks, months and months. So 4th down and 1, and they're going to bring on Creaky to kick. He had 2 field goals last weekend. The second a game winner with about a minute to go to beat Boston College. This will be from 32 yards for Blanton Creaky. And it is a beauty. So Louisville adding to the lead, now on top 31-21. Still time to go here before halftime. And Louisville will receive the second half kickoff. Give you a look around the ACC now the last 3 days. NC State with a 16-10 victory over Syracuse. 16 sacks last 2 games for the Wolfpack. Virginia, Miami 17-9, a victory Miami really desperately needed.
Yeah, and Virginia just getting bogged down in the red zone. An issue for them a year ago, an issue again against Miami.
Clemson impressive today. 45-14 running right by Florida State. We'll see the Seminoles right here next week on our Saturday night game.
Yeah, and Florida State, a lot of talented players. It was interesting to see the way that Clemson handled them. And, Trevor Lawrence continues to do it with his legs this season. Surprising, but he was also efficient as a passer. Did have the interception. I know that's been a big thing for Clemson, looking at his interceptions this year, but was efficient passing the football and certainly did a good job of leading that offense today.
Conley has come on to engineer a drive there to get the field goal, 31-21. And Beal Smith back into the end zone. And let's see if Jamie Newman comes back, and indeed he will, after taking a shot on the shoulder. A vicious lick. Junior quarterback is back in for Wake, and time to do something here, Tim.
It is, and I said earlier, and it's really been true for this Wake offense, they've been great in 2-minute offense situations. You think about all the games they've had that have been decided in the last 30 seconds. Big part of that is how productive they've been in 2-minute situations.
First and 10 at the 25. And the handoff for Beal Smith, and he's got an edge out there. Dragged down. Taken down by Abdullah, but not before a 13-yard pickup.
It's a great job of Beal Smith. He just kind of hides behind that offensive line as they walk up there, and the defense loses him.
And a flag down here with 1:55 to go in the second. And a 10-point lead for the Cardinals.
False start. Offense, number 73. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Right tackle Jake Benziger.
What's interesting, I'm talking about them being good in 2-minute situations. I think part of that is because they go so fast, and Benziger not set, which is, what was the penalty? And that was another one.
Wow.
False start. Offense, number 79. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
And again, the least penalized team in the country, Wake Forest.
And that's the 4th penalty on first down. And Dave Clawson was very clear with us about the importance to be clean, to play clean, not have those penalties to get you off schedule, because the offense just isn't structured to work that way.
Yeah, they had been flagged only 16 times in 5 games. Quick hit for Hinton on a completed pass. His pass pushed him out. to bring up 2nd down and 13. Picked up 7 on that play. So Newman coming back in, looking sharp, looking clear-eyed. 2nd down and 13 for Wake. And a handoff. Here's Bill Smith. Bill Smith to the right side. He's taken down close to the 40-yard line. Pass finally got to him, but that's a gain of 24 yards.
It's a good job of Benzinger, who had the penalty earlier, and then a nice job of Bill Smith at winding that one back.
1st and 10. Newman to fire and complete. That one caught by Hinton. That picks up 8 yards. 2nd down and 2 for the Demon Deacons. Newman again will throw short this time and complete to Surratt as they pick up the 1st down. So moving it quickly.
Moving it quickly, and it's the 48th play on defense already for this Louisville defense, and you can see how comfortable Wake is going at that fast pace.
Both of these teams are going to need halftime just to get some oxygen. The fake to Bill Smith. He will throw and complete. Hinton in traffic for 9 yards.
Louisville playing with 2 high safeties because they're trying to protect their corners. And so they're not covering the slot, which is why Hinton has been such a big part of this drive. Now that we get in tight and they're starting to run the football, it would not surprise me to see Louisville to play single coverage outside to try to get somebody down over Hinton.
Bill Smith picking up the 1st time, running short here. Going for the end zone, but incomplete. He wanted Washington. Been covered by Chandler Jones, and they've been really targeting Jones.
They have been going after Jones. That's clearly the matchup, and you know, Washington just picks that one up late. If he sees it sooner, I think he comes down with that one in the end zone.
25 seconds remaining here in the 1st half. Newman back from injury, and now back to pass to the end zone, and intercepted. Picked off by the Cardinals and by Abdullah. Turnovers have really been a big part of the narrative and continue to be in the closing seconds of the 1st half.
And it's the right read by Jamie Newman. It's the wrong throw. You end up having 2 high safeties, and so what they want to do is run the tight end down the middle. But he just doesn't deal with the underneath coverage properly by changing the trajectory of the throw. The middle of the field's where they want to go. He has his tight end open. He just doesn't get it up and down enough. The throw to Frunthal is just too flat, and that's why Abdullah is able to go up and make a play on the football.
Yasir Abdullah, the sophomore from Miami, with the pick.
That's exactly what Jamie Newman's doing. See that? Like he's saying, I got to get it up and down. Need a little arc on that ball. What a big stop by the Louisville defense, especially since they're going to get the football to start the 2nd half.
And they've got 18 seconds to go before halftime. There have been a lot of mistakes, but it's also made it tremendously entertaining. But Wake Forest with 3 fumbles, they lost one of them. A couple of drops as well. The interception in the red zone, the key as well.
It's really been out of character for them, Dave. I mean,
very much.
You know, came on tonight talking about what a great decision maker Jamie Newman has been, and what a good job they've done of playing penalty-free football. And between the turnovers and just other mistakes on offense, it's really cost them.
But you know, you talked about it before the game, Tim, how Louisville came in playing their best football of the year, and in many ways that has shown up tonight. All with nowhere to go, just the final seconds of the 1st half. Basham with the stop. Carlos Basham, a pretty good name for a defensive end. And coming up on the ACC Network halftime report, Jordan Cornette along with Eric McLean and Mark Richt and E.J. Manuel. They're all coming your way in just a moment. Let's get it down to Katie.
Thanks, Dave. Scott, a pretty eventful 1st half for your team, ending with Yasir's interception. What stood out to you most?
Yeah, well, special teams. You know, we had a big punt return and a big kickoff return for a touchdown. It's probably the difference in the game right now. It's a 10-point game. You know, defensively, you know, we're hanging in there. You know, they got some talented players, and 14's a great player. Quarterback's good. But, you know, right now, a 10-point lead, it's not safe. And we got to do a great job at halftime right here making adjustments. We get the ball first. We got to go try to get some points on the board.
Mikhail Cunningham seemed to be moving well when he exited the tent. How will you handle the quarterback situation moving forward?
Yeah, I think, you know, he's probably not 100%. He's available if we need him. We'll go with Evan right now, and if Evan's healthy, he'll probably finish it out. But we have him available if we need to.
Thanks for the time.
Thank you.
All right, so putting this one in the hands of the freshman, we shall see how that plays out. We are at halftime. 31-21. Louisville with the lead here at Wake. And right after this short break, Jordan Cornette and the gang will join you for the ACC Network Halftime Report.
Welcome to the weekend. Welcome to the party. Welcome to the light at the end of a hallway. Fire it on up, burn it on down, lay it on back and pass it back around. Talking about football, talking about game day, talking about good friends sitting on tailgates, talking about shots all around. Y'all come on in, where you been? Welcome to the weekend.
Welcome back to ACC Network Primetime Football presented by Geico. We have had some fireworks tonight. Those are right next door at the Dixie Fair. But here inside the stadium, 31-21, a wild first half. Hassan Hall had a 100-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. That's just one of about 19 things that happened in the first half.
And I think we were expecting a lot of offense. When we got plenty of offense, but I think it was those other plays like the like that return that really ended up being the difference maker in the first half for Louisville. When you think about what they were able to do defensively and in the kicking game, also had a big punt return, and that really probably is the difference.
All right, so a tremendous first half, a lot of entertainment there, plenty of turnovers. As we get set for the second half, Louisville will have the football after the kickoff here. We've had 4 quarterbacks appear in this one. Mikhail Cunningham had to step aside for a while, so did Jamie Newman, as both took pretty good licks. And here's Hall again, so dangerous in that first half. He's going to wriggle free. He's going to get to the 30-yard line. They miss him again. He takes to the left side. Hall romping down the line and finally pushed out of bounds. Oh, he has been the man in this one.
He has absolutely been the man. Kind of similar to the one earlier. He starts one way, and then he brings it back. Kind of gets lost in the shuffle, and it's his speed. And then a missed tackle by Bassie. You think about Stu Holt, the special teams coordinator, was with App State in 2018. So he comes over with Satterfield. 4 return touchdowns in the kicking game. Obviously doing a good job of bringing that scheme to Louisville, and it's showing up big tonight.
That one goes for 83 yards to go along with a 100-yarder earlier in the game. Conley back at a quarterback off the pump fake, heading for the end zone, and he's got a man wide open. Fitzpatrick will haul that in from 15 yards, and Louisville is right back at it.
Yeah, it's just an awesome play design as they're faking the bubble screen, and really Conley had 2 guys to choose from in terms of being wide open. You talk about just coming out right away and punching you in the second half, and the confidence that you have after a big return in your true freshman quarterback.
Tim, that took 22 seconds. I mean, incredible. Des Fitzpatrick hauling that one in for the touchdown. And the point after is good. 38-21 Louisville. Cardinals in high gear again.
You just think about what Louisville's trying to do is they fake the bubble screen to the inside receiver. Then they're going to run a little stock block post, and then Fitzpatrick is going to stock block and go out here. And you just see what happens after Conley pumps to Atwell. They have both. They have the post and the wheel. And Conley does a good job of sorting it out, finding Fitzpatrick.
Our New York Life Drive recap. And the band of brothers are loving it.
And they should love it. This offensive line, you know, they've protected for a number of different quarterbacks this season, 2 this evening. When you think about, Conley as a true freshman and trying to get him comfortable, they have not been shy about taking shots with him. His first pass was a completion on a deep over. His first pass of the second half is a fake screen and a touchdown to Fitzpatrick, and it all started with that group of offensive linemen up front. They call themselves the Band of Brothers.
And oh, by the way, they eat very well. They every Thursday night are at Dwayne Ledford's house, the offensive coordinator. He has the O-line over for dinner, along with his wife, Meredith, who does all the preparation and makes apparently cookies that will knock you right off your feet.
And that's Ledford on the bottom right of the screen with the big beard. We referenced him earlier with the broken hand, but I think what he has done is he's made that offensive line group feel like he cares about them, and they're starting to play better. I've seen Louisville play in the past, and the offensive line has been a weakness of theirs, and it's been a bit of a strength of theirs this season.
Katie, moments ago with Wake Forest head coach Dave Clawson.
Dave, your team has been able to win multiple close games so far this season. What will it take in this one?
Well, we got to play better than we did in the first half. We're really fortunate to be in it. We gave them 3 touchdowns off a kick return, a turnover, and a punt return. And other than that, we have to take care of the football and get this thing to a one-score game.
Now, we saw Jamie Newman leave and go to the locker room and then return in that second quarter. What's his status moving forward?
He's good to go.
Thanks for the time.
Okay, thanks.
And good to hand off to Carney, who picks up some nice yards there, stopped by Burns. And Louisville, the return units have been amazing. 5 returns, 270 yards. And he had 54 yards a touch. They're just carving them up.
Been the big difference in the game, as Dave Clawson noted.
On 1st and 10. Newman back, wants to throw long, throwing deep and off the hands of Surratt. And again, they go after the corner, Chandler Jones.
And it's Sage Surratt who's been the other story in this game.
Ooh.
And that's a hold. That's pass interference. Ball's in the air. And they've gone after Jones. And they're fortunate that that one wasn't flagged.
Some in the crowd expressing their sentiment over that. That was a fistful of jersey. 2nd down and 10. Just getting started here in the second half. An unusual style, the walk-up style. At times has been effective tonight, other times not. And obviously Louisville not struggling too badly with it, on top 38-21. A play lost a yard, 3rd and 11. Newman again, and he's going to be sacked. Brought down by Robinson. The senior got to him.
Look at what happens here. Louisville just ends up running a stunt. They're going to come inside with the outside rusher and come around here. And they just don't do a good job, Wake Forest front, of passing that off. And that's why Robinson is able to come around there almost completely free, nearly get the ball out.
Some head of steam here in the early part of the second half for Louisville, offensively and defensively. Ajay Burns back for the punt, and a fair catch. Well, Louisville cooking.
They should be excited on defense as Gigi Robinson able to get to the quarterback and get him down, get that football back.
Dwayne Ledford, the offensive coordinator, man, does he get after it very physically with his guys.
And they're doing it after the second. I think Ledford actually would have been flagged for the head slap pregame. But they're playing well up front on both sides of the ball.
Well, they sure are. And for Wake Forest, this is the most points they've allowed to anybody all season long. Just a couple of minutes into the 3rd. That one complete. The Fitzpatrick's going to break away and pick up additional yards and a first down, 16-yard gain.
And Wake Forest is going to need to tackle on the perimeter, plain and simple. Just here, Taylor out of corner needs to make that play. Just throwing a hitch right in front of you if you want to be able to claw your way back into this football game.
How tough is this to do, what Evan Conley's doing, looking very composed him?
I mean, it's remarkable for a true freshman to come into a game thinking that he might play some, but
Hawkins finds an opening across the 50 and stopped by Greer. Let's toss it down to Katie.
Well, Scott Satterfield told me that Evan Conley gained a lot of respect from his teammates after the FSU game. In the last drive against the Seminoles, Mikael Cunningham was injured and didn't practice during the week leading into the Boston College game. So Conley ran the offense that week, prepared by staying late each night watching film, and it showed. Conley played multiple drives for the Cardinals last week against BC, and Satterfield said he didn't miss a beat. He's been impressed with his play so far and says his team has ultimate confidence in what is essentially their third quarterback.
He is indeed. He was 10 for 16 coming off the bench against Boston College. And again, mistake-free. Hawkins on the carry, a gain of 1. And Cunningham remaining on the side. He spent considerable time inside the medical tent after taking quite a lick in the first half and a fumble. Pick up an additional yard on the spot here, so it's 2nd and 8 for Conley. Time in the pocket. Throws tipped and incomplete. I mentioned that hit earlier. Take another look at this.
And you see Nasir Greer comes down and he's making the tackle low, and I think he gets into the knees. You see the knee brace that Cunningham was wearing on his right knee, kind of the Velcro straps come loose. He spent some time in the tent. It's good to see him on his feet, see him throwing him, and hear that he was available to Coach Satterfield in the event that he's come back in the game for Evan Conley.
3rd and 8 for the freshman quarterback. With Louisville on top, 38-21. He'll work from the shotgun. Steps up in the pocket. He'll throw on the move. He fires, and it's picked off. Intercepted by Greer. Well, that throw ill-advised and intercepted, and another turnover. Let's see if it hit the ground.
You see Nasir Greer making a play on the football. And I think he holds on to that one, and this is a throw that Conley is going to want back, because he probably has a touchdown if he just get his feet underneath him and make the throw. It's 2 high safeties again, and basically he's got a middle of the field runner, and if he throws it out there, it's a touchdown. He climbs inside the pocket, throw it out there, and it's a touchdown. Tries to throw it on the run, it's a flat ball, and it's a terrible miss. That's why it was an interception.
Frankly, he could have run it another 20 yards had he wanted to. Burns with a stop on Beal Smith. Satterfield questioning the freshman as he came off the field.
And you could read in his mouth, he said, just run. You know, if you were late, you like it, just run.
Beal Smith is going to run. Takes a crunching hit right around the 30-yard line. But picks up the first. So Wake now on the move. With Jamie Newman back in there, the junior who has been the top touchdown man in the ACC with 14 touchdown passes. Beal Smith trying to gain some yards off to the right.
The second quarterback block of the night, Dave, is Jamie Newman walks it up, hands it off, and then he becomes the lead blocker for his running back. Unbelievable.
How tough is that style of play to master, that walk-up style? Because we don't see it anywhere else.
You don't see it anywhere else.
Timeout. Player injury.
Looks
Play
like
clock for 25 seconds, please. Looks
like Nathan Gilliam there, the right guard for Wake. He is down. 10:24 to go here in the third. 38-21 Louisville. Louisville out in front 38-21. And Wake Forest, their right guard Nathan Gilliam will have to step aside. Loic Nangasim-Naya will step in for him. So first down and 10. Wake on the move here with 10:20 to go in the third. And a quick dish. He gets it to Surratt, his favorite receiver. Certainly one of them. Has caught another touchdown pass tonight in 8 consecutive games. He's done that. He picks up 7. And if you're just peeking in tonight, this is how they have run tempo-wise all night long. They get it and go. Walker, who's been pretty quiet, although they're very, very high on the freshman, with that carry. And another man is down. Justin Haran, the left tackle. He is injured. So those are starting to pile up here for Wake all of a sudden.
You know, and Wake just not a team that can really afford, just based on depth, to have guys out of the lineup, multiple guys along that offensive line. And I think they felt pretty good about, you know, kind of the top 6, but you start getting beyond that. Now all of a sudden, you know, here comes the injury bug to a team that has really been healthy all season.
And just lost Nathan Gilliam, the right guard. This is the left tackle, a senior from Silver Spring, Maryland, with 9:56 to go, third quarter.
The other thing it does, Dave, is, you know, they're a team that wants to run tempo. And so, you know, we talk about penalties, you know, bogging you down, and just any type of stoppage in play, like an injury and a player having to come out of the game, also gets your offense out of rhythm. So, you know, as Wake tries to battle back into this thing, you know, and respond after a turnover, you know, it's taken them a little while, even with some success, to get into that rhythm of their offense.
Interested, too, how Louisville, in command right now, 38-21, how they're going to run their offense, because they've been such a good running team this season. He's going to throw, and that one down the right side. Caught by Surratt, and he's into the end zone for a touchdown. 47 yards. And every time you think the Demon Deacons may be slipping away in this game, they come up with a big play.
They do, and they keep going back to Surratt. This time it's on Johnson. And the thing that's been amazing, Dave, is we talk about Surratt being this big physical receiver. Scotty Washington, same thing on the other side, going up and fighting for the football. But they're just running by guys at times as well. I mean, that's Sage Surratt stacking the cornerback, getting on top of him, which makes an easy throw for the quarterback. And Jamie Newman on the money.
And Surratt into the end zone for the third time in this game. They cannot contain him.
They can't contain him. They can't run with him as he gets on top for the go route. Beautiful ball. Sage Surratt helping Wake Forest climb back into this one.
Undefeated Wake Forest battling back again. 38-28 Louisville, and Sage Surratt is having himself a night.
It's ridiculous what he's done when you think about it. 7 catches, over 100 yards, and 3 touchdowns for Sage Surratt. That one a 47-yarder, and we knew that Wake had good wide receivers, but a little bit surprising to see the way that they've been running past the defensive backs for Louisville.
Again, 8 consecutive games receiving a touchdown pass for him. We take a look at tonight's Player Spotlight, brought to you by Geico.
Yeah, and you look at Sage Surratt, just talking about him, he's just been a dominant player in 8 consecutive games with a touchdown reception. That's remarkable, and has 3 of them this evening.
Flag down at the 30. 9:38 to go in the third. The night he has fashioned. 38-28 Louisville. Well, it's an offense leading the ACC at 515 total yards per game. So they can certainly get back into a game in a heartbeat. They've done that on a couple of occasions tonight.
Illegal formation, kicking team number 28. 5-yard penalty will be added on to the end of the to where the ball was caught. First down.
Well, Coach Clausen not happy at all with that. Well, Louisville to take over with Evan Conley, the freshman, leading the way, and he'll pass here on first down and complete. Got that one to Fitzpatrick. And he will pick up a first down. An 11-yard gain.
It's good to see that out of Conley. Critical mistake last time out. They opened this drive up with a throw that he missed earlier in this game, an out route to Fitzpatrick that he missed wide last time. responds to that, and just get the sense with this guy's poise that he'll end up responding well on this drive.
Nothing there for Hall as Basham was all over him and took him down for the loss.
It's a really nice job by Basham. Basham was a defender that was cut early in the game by Marshawn Ford, and Ford's tried to do that a couple times to him, tried to do it there, and Basham, got him the first time, but he's a good football player. Does a good job of protecting his legs and making the play.
I mentioned the Cardinals, a strong rushing offense, 227 yards per game. Lately, though, the passing attack, even with the shuffling at quarterback, has taken a big step forward. 2nd down and 13 for Louisville. And he will hand off for Hall. Basham there again to say hello, but a 4-yard gain.
Yeah, Basham's the guy that jumped out on tape, especially to the Louisville coaches. The guy that they feel like is an NFL caliber type player, and makes a play on 1st down, and then 2nd down, runs one down from behind.
3rd down, 10. Clock inside 10. All in the backfield with Conley. And he's looking to throw. Up in the pocket. On the move. And got it off and complete. That's shy of the first there, Atwell.
It's a good job by Conley climbing inside the pocket. He's getting man-to-man coverage. He's working the in route. You see him climb in the pocket and find a throwing lane to Atwell.
And did pick up the first on a good spot.
It looks like they may be
timeout for a minute.
So 7:17 left in the 3rd. And checking his spot here, 38-28 Louisville. And going to give it to him. So it will be 1st down and 10.
Looks like they have that ball spotted on the 49-yard line, and so when you look at it there,
Running on the field, the runner made the line to gain. Previous play is under further review.
As you see him catch the football here, that ball looks like it's just touching the 49-yard line of Wake Forest. I would give him forward progress there because I think that's where he's gaining possession of the football, which is right where that yellow line, which is not official, is. But
take another look.
I don't know if there's enough there, Dave, to move that ball off of the 49-yard line. You see it's in his body. He's got possession of it. I think this one ends up standing and be a Louisville 1st down.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands.
So Louisville with a first.
Just saying, by the way, I think I'm like 3 for 3 on these, at least the ones I've said. What do you think?
I would say absolutely.
Yes, okay.
3 for 3. And over the course of the season, you're like, as far as anyone knows, you're
really?
like 50 for 50.
True, or it could be like 3 for 100. We'll see.
Dave, you got to call him out for that humble brag. Come on.
I give him that one. Plus, he's right. Here's Conley. He fires that one and complete. Caught by Fitzpatrick. So a big 1st down gain to pick up 32 yards.
Scott Satterfield not afraid to put the game in his young receiver's hands, as you see, the post, which kind of turns into a deep over by Fitzpatrick, and it's a nice job of Evan Conley leading his receiver across the field, and Aseng Bassi really should be flagged there for a hit out of bounds.
Yes, surprised there was no flag there. Yeah, no late hit.
Yeah, that clearly was late, and it was on the boundary there, but should have been another 15 tacked onto that one.
From the 16-yard line. On the run, trying to get that edge is Hall. And he'll gain 8 yards to bring up 2nd and 2. And the Cardinals have it rolling again. Hall the handoff, sprinting in, and he is in for the touchdown. He has been a handful all night long from 8 yards out, and Louisville goes out in front 44-28.
The Louisville offensive line and tight ends just moving guys around. Just the push off of the football is remarkable, and it makes it an easy cut for Hall, who just stays vertical, and that's a big-time run from that part of the field with great push from the offensive line.
So the Cardinals with a point after, and that is good. So they extend the lead to 45-28, 5:54 to go in the third.
Well, big play from the passing game, and then it's that band of brothers up front, and you see Haycroft, Pfeiffer just wash everything down for Hall to march into the end zone.
Welcome back to ACC Network Primetime Football presented by Geico. Tim Hasselbeck, Dave O'Brien, and Katie George with you here from Wake Forest. You have to be impressed with Louisville. Already, Tim, 45 points up there. Hassan Hall's had himself a great night. You know, special teams, a short kick and onside there, and Wake will take it in around the 40-yard line. I mean, Hall, between what he's done on kickoffs and also that last rushing touchdown, he's been the man.
Well, the kickoff was incredible. Kind of gets a late start to it and takes one back over 100 yards and starts the second half with a great one. And then in the run game, with the guys up front moving people around, just running with power. And, you know, it seems like, you know, Hawkins has been the preferred back because he's a good fit for their zone run scheme. But Hall tonight, who's a bigger back, has run with a lot of power and been a really nice addition to their offense.
Bill Smith bouncing outside across the 50. So they'll pick up a first there and a 12-yard gain. And so now Wake Forest needs another answer. They've been able to do it a couple of times tonight, get back in the game. But now they're in a real danger zone. First and 10 to throw it. It's Surratt. Trying to muscle ahead for a couple of more yards. Tied up there by Anthony Johnson, but a 14-yard pickup.
And you see Surratt continue to make plays, and you think, well, maybe you double him, but you can't dedicate, you know, 2 players to him when there's still the threat of this run game like you see there in that long kind of ride-read mesh point. It's been effective for this Wake offense.
About 9.5 there for Beal Smith. Approaching the 5-minute mark here in the third. He'll take another handoff. It opens up, but just for a moment. And bring up second down. Let's get down to Katie George.
Well, a couple of updates on Wake Forest's offensive line. Left tackle Justin Huron is good to go and is returned, while right guard Nathan Gilliam is in the locker room right now getting an X-ray on his left foot, Dave.
All right, Katie, thank you very much for the update. That offensive line was beaten up there over a span of about 2 or 3 plays. 45-28 Louisville. Wake trying to climb back and get another score here. They'll throw a short pass and incomplete intended for Surratt, with Anthony Johnson, the corner, right with him. So 4th down and 3. And Nick Skiba coming on for the kick. Came into the game having made 17 consecutive field goals, and every one in his career of his point afters. So this will be from 34 yards for Skiba. An outstanding kicker for Wake Forest. And this one is up and perfect again. He's just about as good as it gets. That'll make it 45-31. Scott Satterfield talking earlier this week about the ups and downs last year. Of course, he was not a part of that.
I wasn't here, last year. I know I was dreadful for a lot of our players, but for me, this is all I know. We're 3-2, 1-1 in ACC, and we're looking to get more. We like the taste of winning, and I think hopefully this will entice our guys to continue to work even harder and have more detail every day when they come to work. And because I'm telling you what, that locker room was fun. I mean, you guys heard them yelling right down the hallway, and I want them to get used to doing that. And hopefully we'll be yelling a lot in Winston-Salem at about 11 o'clock Saturday night.
Tim, they really like him. They really play for him.
They do play for him. There's been a lot of improvement in a short period of time because of what this coaching staff has done. And his first team meeting, 4 minutes in, got a standing ovation from his players.
Wow.
I think he has, in a really short period of time, made his players feel like they matter, feel like he really cares about him. I think the entire staff has done that. They've really responded well to him. And I know he said he wasn't there last year, but talking to Gigi Robinson before the game, he said he makes us feel like he was a part of the mess they were a part of last year, and the players have really appreciated that.
Hawkins takes a hit, get back on his feet there. Satterfield spent 23 years at Appalachian State as a quarterback, an assistant, and a head coach before taking the Louisville job following the firing of Bobby Petrino. 46 years old. And you can tell, talking to his team, they're having a lot of fun this season and trying to go to 4-2 and 2-1 in the conference.
Yeah, and he's a program builder. I mean, he is. When you look at what he did at App State, and I think there's probably a feeling because of how down Louisville was last year, and I think the players were beaten down. Quite honestly, I think that's how they felt, and I think that there's been a quick change, and that's hard to do. But he's done a great job of it so far.
Conley off the fake, going long. The flag is down. Fitzpatrick with it, still on his feet, cuts back to the right. Finally, he's taken down, but a flag way back at the 25-yard line. Basham, good pressure.
Holding, offense number 75, 10-yard penalty, first down.
Carlos Basham getting after Evan Conley. And you see Robbie Bell just, hooks him too much, and really a shame for Louisville's offense because it was such a ridiculously athletic play by Fitzpatrick, and was going to flip the field for Louisville's offense.
Yeah, races a 46-yard pass play, and will bring up 1st and 20.
And Basham has turned it on in this second half in a big, big way. I think you get into some of these known passing situations, he can really have an impact, but he's also done it against the run.
Hawkins with the carry. Trying to find something on their right side, but it disappears quickly. So the last 3.5 minutes of the third quarter. First half was just crazy, with a ton of scoring. It was 31-21 at halftime. Many might have expected that to be the final score one way or the other. Second down to 19. Conley with a lot of wide receivers to throw to. And try to put it in the air, but now he's on the move. Trying to scamper. Takes the hit, still on his feet. He's still moving. Still up around the 20-yard line before they stack him up. He took a pretty good whack there, but he stayed up.
He did, and I think he really sort of panics here as they're trying to work another one of those deep over routes. I think there's a chance that he has it if he'll just climb up into the pocket. Instead, he gets a little crazy with it, spins around a couple times, and once you turn your back to the defense in scrambling situation, you should either be in the mode where sail it out of bounds or just find the way to get to the line of scrimmage and get down so you don't take an unnecessary hit. And now you are in 3rd and forever, which is not a good spot to be if you're Scott Satterfield with a true freshman quarterback.
Yeah, loss of 4 there. Brings up 3rd down at 23. Conley, low snap. Trying to follow a blocker straight ahead. So 4th down coming up. He's spending some time on the ground here. Pickup of 9 yards there, but 4th and 15. So punting unit coming on.
You just think about how this second half has gone a little bit for, the last 2 drives for Louisville. Kind of an onside kick or some type of surprise kick that gives Wake great field position. They come down, they're able to kick a field goal, and then, a penalty bogs you down. And I think it's going to give this Wake team, a feeling that we're pretty close to really being back in this football game.
And then back for the fair catch. Pretty good field position here. So 1 minute, 15 seconds to go in the 3rd. Wake's been able to answer the bell several times tonight. Can they do it again? And look at these guys tonight, particularly Surratt has had a great night, but Washington's such a nice target too at 6'5".
He is, and he had the one, deep one that was ruled incomplete that could have been close, which would have changed those numbers. And I think Louisville really is afraid of both wide receivers, singling them up and giving them opportunities down the field.
Newman looking to lead him upfield here. And incomplete off the hand of Hinton. To bring up 2nd down, we go down to Katie.
Well, Surratt and Washington started a friendly competition at the start of the season to see who could tally the most yards, catches, and touchdowns. Through 5 games, they were pretty similar in terms of their stats. They were tied at 6 touchdowns. But Surratt, man, has come on strong for Wake Forest tonight. He's leading in that competition by far.
Carney with a stiff arm there. Room to run along the right side before he's finally pushed out of bounds. On a big gain for a 1st down. Avery with the shove. 27 yards for that gain.
It's an amazing job. That play happens because Jamie Newman basically makes a block, and then good job of Cade Carney getting to the edge.
Trying to run it again straight ahead. Stopped by Kennard. Gain of 3.
Watch Jamie Newman here as he goes through this mesh. There's a defender coming off the perimeter. It's Burns. He's able to just block him by shielding him with his body, almost like a pick play.
Quarterback keeping that Burns all over Newman. The guy who really took the brunt of it didn't even have the football, and that was Carney. And he's a little nicked up. That play lost a couple of yards. So Carney is out. Neil Smith is in at running back. Newman to go airborne. Time to throw. And it's popped up and it's intercepted. Intercepted again by Louisville. Picked off by Burns. On the tip by Etheridge. And they turn it over again.
And tips over the middle are almost always going to get you as a quarterback. And really, I think this is an option route by Hinton. He breaks inside. Jamie Newman decides to stick with Hinton. When he does, he's got defenders there. Ball's tipped in the air. Burns there for the pick. Big break for Louisville's defense.
And the 4th quarter coming up. Well, getting underway here in the 4th quarter. Undefeated Wake Forest, number 19 in the country, in serious danger on their home field. Hassan Hall has been a big man tonight.
And Etheridge there, the linebacker. This is the interception. Jamie Newman is furious after the play because he thinks Etheridge gets to Hinton before the ball does. I think he's probably got a pretty good case, but no flag nonetheless. And Dorian Etheridge, really the leader of that Louisville defense, ends up making a big play. And I thought Hinton, who was running an option route, should have broken outside. He broke inside, which caused Newman to hang on him a little too long, which is ultimately what ended up leading to the tip.
2nd and 7. And kind of with a handoff. That one goes to Hall. He's trying to bounce outside and fighting his way. Stopped by Henderson. Another big part of the story tonight has been Evan Conley, true freshman quarterback, taking over for the injured Mikhail Cunningham. Spent a lot of time in the medical tent the first half. And right now has his team in front 45-31. Early moments of the 4th quarter. 3rd down and 3 for the Cardinals. Not to say that Conley has been perfect, but he's shown a lot more poise than you might have expected out of a freshman quarterback. Gets this one free to Atwell. Atwell will pick up the first.
Really cool play design. They bring Atwell like he's going to come around in motion like they've been doing all night, and then they bounce him right back. And so now you get Atwell, who's got a ton of speed, just operating in space against Bassey, and Bassey can't make the tackle. That's a good job of Scott Satterfield designing a play to get one of your best ball carriers in the open field on a defenders who's just, it's just difficult to make that play. Really creative play call on 3rd and 3.
So in 1st and 10, 4 wideouts in now for Louisville. And he'll hit Wakefield. Breaking free of 1 tackle and pays the price. And stopped eventually, which will bring up 2nd down. With 12:35 left here in the 4th.
You know, and Scott Satterfield, who they go with tempo, seems like they have slowed this down just a bit.
Conley stepping up in the pocket and fires incomplete. He wanted Dawkins. 3rd and 10.
It's another one of those deep over routes that they've hit a couple times, and I think Conley's pretty good at throwing them as you go back to last week and some of what we've seen this evening.
Yeah, Dawkins had a great game against Boston College in that win. 170 receiving yards. So 3rd down and 10. Again, 4 wideouts in for the Cardinals. And Conley to go from the shotgun. He'll pitch it to Hall. Hall looking for that edge outside. So 4th down.
Yeah, and I think they're going to end up punting it here. And I believe that Scott Satterfield, and you look at what he was doing, running the clock down. It's a 3rd down play. They go with the speed option. I think Scott Satterfield at this point is really thinking about how he's managing this football game, just wondering about the number of possessions that they can try to limit Wake Forest to, which is why he handled that drive that way. I think it's probably a smart move when you think about playing with a true freshman quarterback, even though he's played well, would limit his opportunities to cost you the game.
That one is going to take a big hop and into the end zone. So 11:19 remaining, 45-31. The Cardinals. Well, the Cardinals doing some hitting tonight. 3 takeaways, Tim.
They've been incredible and, you know, doing a great job of flying around to the football. And Rajay Burns has really been the guy that has stepped up. He's had 12 tackles, 2 for losses. He's forced a fumble and had a pick. And he's been absolutely all over the place. Really got things going early with that fumble. And good job of playing the tip there. And he's been incredible. When you think about what he's done, he's moved from safety. He's under 200 pounds. He's basically playing linebacker, and he's been everywhere.
Well, flag down as they stop Beal Smith. Put a flag on the play with 11:12 to go in the 4th. And a hold. And a lot more flags tonight.
Okay. Holding offense, number 75. Half the distance to the goal. Still 1st down.
More flags tonight on Wake than certainly is typical.
And there's Burns. I mean, what a night. Just you think about what he's done. I mentioned he moved from safety. They list him at 197 pounds. He looks lighter than that, but he plays in the box most of the game, and he's had as big of an impact as potentially anybody on the field tonight.
A gain of 2. Second down and 18. And Wake in need of a little bit of magic here. Newman to throw. Tipped. So third down with 10:40 to go. Goldwire got his fingertips on it.
It's a great job of just pushing Zach Tom, the center, right back into the lap of Jamie Newman.
Quarterback to fire. Good protection there and broken up. Incomplete. Hinton, the intended receiver, but Chandler Jones, they've really been picking on him tonight, but really fine play.
They have. They've been running by him, and maybe gets away with a little bit of a grab, but does a good job of getting that left arm across. Really, as they've been trying to work Hinton on the last two drives, playing a little bit more coverage and so working the middle. Louisville's done a nice job responding and getting to the football as they try to get it to Hinton.
And against a team that has been terrific all season on third down, Wake is 0 for their last 5 on third down conversions. DiMaggio has to punt. And that one will roll out with 10:26 to go. 45-31, Louisville.
ACC Network Primetime Football is presented by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Well, so much on the line tonight for both of these schools, particularly though Wake Forest, because they're undefeated. They're ranked number 19, Louisville, looking for their first win against a ranked opponent since 2016. Wake Forest, an 8th straight win, which would be a school record. They are trailing 45-31 here at home. And the Cardinals have the football. And Conley is going to roll. Looking short. And complete to Atwell. That's a 6-yard gain.
Those move the pocket plays have been good for Louisville, really from the first play of the game. I think it's because they run that outside zone so well that the boot coming off of it has really created some great opportunities for the over routes as well as quarterback runs.
Game 7, so second down and 3. Under 10 minutes to go in this contest. The handoff for Hawkins. Do you expect him to get a lot of carries here down the stretch, Tim?
Yeah, I would think that you try to feature him and you really try to kind of bleed the clock a little bit. You're obviously outside of a 4-minute offense mode, just inside 10 minutes here, but you know, they have started to move guys around quite a bit in the run game. And so I would expect to try to rely on it, but Wake Forest isn't going to go down without a fight, as you see a pretty good play there on second down.
3rd and 4 wideouts in. Hawkins in the backfield here with a freshman quarterback. Wants to throw and throwing deep, and he's got a man. Caught by Fitzpatrick. He scampers into the end zone for a touchdown. And a killer strike for the Cardinals. 50 yards and a touchdown.
It's a killer strike, and it's an awesome throw by the true freshman quarterback, and they just end up hitting him with a slant and go. They run a little whip route inside, and it's a slant and go, and you know, Mari Henderson, who's been a pretty aggressive corner for Wake Forest, is a target on that one, and it was an outstanding route. And you know, a lot of times you get a guy wide open like that, the quarterback will miss it. It was a perfect throw by Conley.
And the point is good to make it 52-31.
It's an outstanding route. It's a slant and go by Fitzpatrick. He gets Henderson. And Scott Satterfield is fired up, and he should absolutely be a little bit of a chest bump to Big Mekhi Becton.
Well, welcome back to ACC Network Primetime Football presented by Geico. The head coach and his offensive coordinator enjoying the proceedings.
Well, you can laugh and yuck it up a little bit on the sideline when you've got 52 points on the board, and when you have a freshman quarterback who's come in and for 2 weeks in a row pretty much been lights out.
He really has. Louisville with a 100-yard kick return for a touchdown, a 50-yard punt return to set up a touchdown. Here's Hinton through a couple of tacklers to the 40-yard line, and also a 50-yard touchdown pass just moments ago. So some huge plays for the Cardinals.
Been incredible, and it's been incredible to see Scott Satterfield and the trust that he has with a true freshman quarterback in these situations. You know, maybe trying to run out some clock, but when you call a double move.
Heck, the trust he had going body to body with Mekhi Becton was amazing. I'm not sure about the wisdom of it. Yeah. Becton's 6'7", 370. I mean, he ought to have a concierge and a bell stand. He's a hotel. Firing to Hinton. He pays a price there. Kendall Hinton calls that in, but Burns, who's had a great night for Louisville with the tackle.
That's a great point by you, Dave, because that is Mekhi Becton, 6'7", 370 pounds. And when we asked Dwayne Ledford about how much Becton weighs, he was like, he's probably down to about 370 maybe now.
Down to 370,
which maybe means he was over it at one point.
But a tremendous athlete.
You know, when they just got to Louisville, they said, you know, a guy that big, he probably can't move. And that is evidence that he can move. And they also said he's probably like low 20% body fat on a guy that size, which is remarkable. He's got a big-time NFL future.
He sure does.
They're excited to be able to coach him.
Complete to Surratt, but he can't get free of the tackler Johnson. He is a large human being and very talented. Oh, Wake trying to go very quickly here. Walker off to the right. He'll pick up a first down. They need a quick strike. First and 10. And the clock becoming a factor here for Wake Forest. They've been involved in close games. They don't mind being in them, but they're trying to get into one right now. Newman getting to the 30-yard line. And the clock running with 7:32 to go. Walker back in at the running back spot, the freshman. Wake very, very high on him. Quarterback will keep Newman. Takes a shot. Louisville coming out of there claiming a fumble. And that is not the case.
You know, it was surprising to see there. You see, you know, Newman carrying the football, takes a shot, and looks like that knee is probably down before the ball comes out. But Louisville brought a corner on that play, which is why Newman ended up the ball carrier.
Newman looking to throw, nobody open. Now he fires, and a low pass. And Roberson there. It's complete. 15-yard gain. So into the red zone.
Scott Satterfield about halfway on the field trying to get a timeout.
So Louisville will take one here. On top 52-31.
He's a little bit curious if this was in fact a catch, and it looks like he's able to pick it off, you know, before it hits the ground.
Louisville has called timeout to challenge the ruling on the field. Previous play is under further review.
Looked like in the angle we got that Roberson caught it.
I think you're right, Dave, but I also think this is the right decision by Scott Satterfield. It's close. It's a third down play. I think his defense is tired. They've been on the field a lot tonight. And so it's a good timing of the timeout challenge to give his defense a break and maybe get fortunate, you know, with a ruling.
Yeah.
As I look at that, that does not appear to touch the ground, and it seems like Roberson has control of it.
You make a great point about coaching strategy. Talk about being on the field for a long time. Wake Forest has run 84 plays.
Oh, my word. I mean,
84 plays in this game.
Yeah, that is a lot of plays to defend, and this has been a hard-fought football game. We've seen a lot happen, plus a lot of these players are playing on special teams. You know, caught a break with the weather this evening. It's a nice night here, but that is a lot of plays. And so I think, you know, Scott Satterfield, I'm not even sure, you know, if he was convinced that it needed to be reviewed, but I was probably convinced his defense needed a blow.
I think you are correct, and this certainly looked like a complete pass to us. 6:45 remaining, and time beginning to run out on Wake Forest and Dave Clawson.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands. Louisville will be charged with a timeout, and that is their final challenge for the ball game.
So that's where Wake will take over. On 1st and 10. And Newman from the shotgun. Newman, who spent some time out of this game in the first half after taking a pretty vicious hit. And then walk-up style, the quarterback will keep it. Got to around the 5-yard line before he was pushed back. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
You know, Newman didn't really finish that run as physical as we've seen him finish runs. And you wonder if that shoulder that, you know, you just mentioned he had looked at, if it's bothering him, not finishing runs the way we normally see him do.
From the 4, the handoff. Look at his scamper in for the touchdown. Kenny Walker. He's in for 6. Well, still over 6 minutes remaining to be played in this game.
We know Wake can score quickly, which just saw him do. And I think, you know, Scott Satterfield does have to, be a little bit concerned how he handles this next drive because of the warp speed of this Wake offense.
So Skiba on for the extra point. And perfect to make it 52-38. Walker with the touchdown.
He's not going to, Wake Forest not going away quietly as Walker helps Wake Forest climb back into this one.
Wake Forest trying to fashion a comeback here. Everyone's staying up late here in Winston-Salem. 52-38 Louisville. And Walker just punching it in to cut the deficit for Wake Forest, but they are undefeated at the moment at 5-0. So that is on the line. Ranked number 19. Trying for an 8-game winning streak. Expect a short kick here. An onside kick and recovered by the Cardinals. And that was Atwell to pounce on that one.
Didn't field it cleanly, but was able to fall back on it. And when you think about how the return game has gone for Louisville tonight, you know, if you're Dave Clawson, you're probably, you're content going with the onside kick there and just surrendering to midfield because you really haven't been able to kick off to Hall.
So Evan Conley, freshman from Marietta, Georgia, the true freshman to take over here with 6:18 to go. 12 out of 17, just under 200 yards, 2 touchdowns and an interception. He's got Hawkins, and a big hole opens up across the 40. Trying to stiff arm, and a flag down as he powered it down to the 25-yard line.
What an amazing run by Hawkins. Just look at this.
Yeah, they got Henderson with a face mask as you take a look.
They maybe could have had to go, the face mask go either way, but it was the move on Nasir Greer in the hole that was incredible by Hawkins. Good job of getting movement, in the initial line of defense, and then when Greer comes up to make a play, I'm not sure he would have been down in two-hand touch.
A 27-yard gain. Boy, penalties have been a factor for Wake tonight, unlike any other game maybe all season long for them. As Hawkins is stacked up by McCollum. Has 7 penalties.
Timeout. Wake Forest.
And
Second
52
charge,
yards
timeout.
as they take a timeout.
Timeout will be 30 seconds.
I mean, they came into the game tonight having been flagged just 16 times in 5 games.
And what was unique about some of the penalties we saw this evening, Dave, is that they were like pre-snap first down penalties, which that's just not what you expect from a Dave Clawson coach team. And I just don't know that they responded to the bye week, and that's Jamie Newman with his shoulder pads off and getting wrapped up on his shoulder there. There's also Sam Hartman behind him on the phone,
who has played a little bit tonight, very little. But Newman took a crunching hit earlier in the game, had to step out for a while. Hartman came in without any socks on and did what he could before Jamie returned. But as you mentioned, with the shoulder pads off now. So 2nd down and 12. Rolling Conley throws low and incomplete. Intended for Adwell, but a low toss.
That looked like a freshman quarterback. I mean, we haven't seen it much tonight, but it's another move the pocket play. And he's got him wide open. It's a layup if he will just give it to him right away. There's maybe even a chance that Atwell will score. I would expect Scott Satterfield to be conservative here. 3rd and long. And keep the ball on the ground. Potentially just kick a field goal.
Hawkins, they smelled that one out. Basham was there to meet him, along with Bergen. So very conservative indeed. Well, how about Louisville now? Their last ACC road win. Got to go back to October 21 of 17. James Blackman fumbling inside his own 20. Ricky hit a 34-yard game-winning field goal with 5 seconds to go. Louisville winning that one 31-28. Louisville's first win in Tallahassee since 1952.
It's incredible when you think about, the streak that was broken last week for Scott Satterfield's team, and we played the sound of him talking about the excitement in the locker room and how good he felt for the kids in there and how much fun it was for him to be a part of it. And, when we thought, Dave, talking before the game, we thought Louisville was playing their best football of the season now, that they have been getting better, and they came out and proved it.
Ricky for a 36-yarder here with 5:40 to play on a big scoring night for the Cardinals. And he has been outstanding. And this one is up, and this one is good. And we've talked about Evan Conley and how poised, for the most part, for 2 weeks in a row now, Tim, he has played.
Yes, he comes from a good program in Georgia, played, a highly ranked high school team, and so he's been in some pretty, big moments, and he's responded like he has been in them before. But beautiful throw to Fitzpatrick on the slant and go. And the game certainly was still in the balance, and I think that we came in knowing that there were really good wide receivers on this Louisville football team. And I think the interesting thing is that you can have great receivers. If you don't have a quarterback that's got the poise and the ability to get the football to him, it doesn't matter. And he's a guy that did an excellent job of getting them the ball tonight and did a good job of getting them the ball last week as well. And I think if you're a Louisville fan, you've got to be thrilled about the future of the quarterback position with Evan Conley.
Not to mention the wideouts they get a chance to throw to him, and Mikael Cunningham as well. Puma Pass has been injured, hasn't played since week 2 with 3 different quarterbacks, but man, do they have targets at Louisville with Atwell and Fitzpatrick and Dawkins and Wakefield and Marshall and others.
What's interesting, when Scott Satterfield said to us that, that he had a commitment, Evan Conley did, to App State, And when he became the head coach of Louisville, and he called him and asked him if he wanted to come to Louisville, he just said, will I have a chance to play? So I want, just tell me that I'm going to have a chance to compete and play, and I'll come. And not only has he had a chance to compete, but he's had a chance to play. It came by way of injury, but I think it's going to be hard to not have him in the lineup going forward.
Let's get out of Katie.
Dave, Tim, it's been 1,121 days since Louisville has beaten a ranked team. The last time they did that was against Florida State at home in 2016. That was the day Lamar Jackson made his early bid for the Heisman Trophy, which he later won. That is a really long time, guys.
Well, it sure is. Sam Hartman now in a quarterback for Wake. We showed you Numa was off on the sideline, and this one's going to be tipped and incomplete. Tipped by C.J. Avery. With 5:25 to go, Louisville on top 55-38. And barring an absolutely miraculous comeback, Wake Forest will tumble from the ranks of the undefeated and suffer their first loss of the season here tonight. It's been a night of huge plays for Louisville. Carney will bust through. Gabe Carney been very busy there. He picks up 9. But a running clock here, 3rd down and 1. And Carney again with a spin move. So he'll pick up a first with a 6-yard carry. Now the Cardinals have been impressive. This last week, snapping a 9-game losing skid in the ACC. Hartman trying to slide down with a 41-39 victory over Boston College. Lots of offense in that game, but they've been even better tonight. And of course, special teams were a backbreaker against Wake Forest in this one.
Yeah, they were incredible. And
timeout. Injured player. Play clock to 40 seconds, please.
Chandler Jones is the man down for the Cardinals. The cornerback. A sophomore from Miami. Well, Wake Forest came into play tonight riding a 7-game winning streak. That extends obviously back to last year. Clemson with an impressive win against FSU today. So 21 in a row. Ohio State has won 12 consecutive games.
You see App State, Satterfield's old team with 11. Eli Drinkwitz replacing him at App State and kind of keeping them rolling. And it was interesting talking to Dave Clawson about, you know, this team has got off to good starts before in the past, and I think, you know, he said, you know, the air has come out of the balloon, and we were hoping it wasn't going to happen tonight. And you see the reaction of some Wake fans. It certainly felt like the air did come out of the balloon.
Now complete to Rudenthal, the tight end, but a flag down. Yeah, it certainly has to be the feeling for the Wake Forest program. They've been here before, you know, where they've had a very nice start and then caved in, and he was hopeful that wouldn't happen again.
Personal foul, targeting number 17 on the defense. Penalty is 15 yards. Previous play is under review.
On Dorian Etheridge.
I mentioned Etheridge is really the heart and soul of this defense, and that's crown of the head. You know, I know that Frudenthal's a ball carrier, but it's almost like he's being stood up a little bit, and crown of the head is, you know, making helmet contact with him. I understand why the officials threw it, and would not be surprised if this thing end up being upheld.
And if it is, it's a disqualification. And if an athlete receives a third or any subsequent targeting foul within the same season, that player is disqualified for the remainder of that game, and the player would receive an automatic 1-game suspension in his team's next scheduled game.
Which is Clemson for Louisville.
After further review, the ruling of targeting is confirmed. Number 17 is disqualified. Penalty is 15 yards. First down.
So Dorian Etheridge, the junior from Charleston, New York,
And obviously in this game, it's you know, with the score the way it is, you know, not the issue, but sitting out the first half of the next game, which is Clemson, is, you know, that's a big blow. That's a really, really tough break for Louisville.
1st and 10 for Wake. And Hartman looking for the end zone, but incomplete. And no flag on the play. Intended for Scotty Washington.
You think about the defensive backs for Louisville in the second half. They've really risen to the occasion. You know, a rough first half for them, and second half, I think they've done a pretty good job of hanging in there and continuing to battle.
2nd and 10. Hartman with a pass and complete. That one caught by Washington. He'll scamper to the end zone. 22-yard touchdown strike. So Wake getting 44 up on the board. 55-44. Just over 4 minutes to go. And Hartman showing some arm strength and connecting with Washington. And Skiba on for the point after. And to make it a 10-point game. And Nick Skiba perfect with that one. So how about this tonight? 100 points on the board.
Well, Scotty Washington just runs a little curl route. And Hartman does a nice job of hitting him, and then it's poor tackling and good effort into the end zone by Scotty Washington. And I've seen crazier things happen. It's a 10-point game with 4 minutes left. Credit Wake Forest for just not going away without a fight, because, you know, Louisville has done a tremendous job of just keeping their foot on the gas pedal.
Yeah, there have been several opportunities tonight for Wake Forest to tuck tail.
Yeah, there's no question about that. And I think, look, it's a credit for, you know, a team that hasn't had continued success, like, you know, Louisville, to continue to step on the gas pedal. They've done a tremendous job of that, and I think it's also a nice job of Wake Forest not going away quietly. And you know, a lot of teams that would do that, but I'm happy to be along for the ride, and another onside kick.
Now 55-45 Louisville. At this point, wondering if they have scored enough. Another onside kick. And it's loose. And Wake Forest says they have it. And they recover. And the tight end, Frudenthal, the man to get to it. So hold the phone here.
It's a great bounce. Skiba puts a nice kick on it. It takes a nice high bounce. That's a bad position to be for Atwell to be in. It's a 150-pound Atwell, and he's getting drilled by Carney as he goes up to make a play on the football. And Frudenthal, he's there. And those are all the stars for Wake Forest. I mean, that's Hinton, that's Sage Surratt, it's Carney, Scotty Washington, who just caught the touchdown pass. And
yep, Wake Forest is not dead yet.
They're not, and this is the 94th play on defense for Louisville.
Long on the sideline, and a flag down. They go after Jones again with Sage Surratt. And flags down with 4:03 left.
Pass interference, defense number 2. The penalty is 15 yards from the previous spot. First down.
It's Surratt again on Jones, and Jones just wraps his right arm around the waist of Surratt. And Surratt, and I've said this a few times, you fight back into the football. See how Surratt stops and is going to try to go up for the football? That's what causes the interference. It's a nice job by the receiver.
Hartman looking to throw again. This one complete. Dragged down shy of the 20 is Kendall Hinton. But that's a gain of 11 and a first down.
Here's the thing about Hartman. Hartman's probably the better passer of the 2 quarterbacks for Wake. He's not nearly the runner, but very comfortable as a passer.
Going again, complete to the tight end. Frudenthal trying to build his way in. He got down there and he's in. Unbelievable. Freudenthal, the tight end, fighting and fighting, and he gets in 21 yards for the touchdown.
It's a great job by Freudenthal. He just finds a little zone. Great effort into the end zone. I think because he gets spun around.
A ruling on the field, it's a touchdown. Previous play is under further review.
I think it's Kane pass and Russ Yeast spin him around. Really the first thing that hits the ground isn't a knee, it's his back. And so where is that football when his back hits the ground?
Look at this effort.
And Hinton trying to give him a little help to get into the end zone.
Fighting and fighting, spins onto the goal line. And at the moment making it 55-51. So the Demon Deacons continue to fight and fight and fight when it looks like they're dead and gone. Nothing like it tonight for Wake Forest.
From that angle right there, Dave, I mean, I could see that ball being just shy of the goal line right there. I just don't know that you see enough of the football to know if there isn't a part of it that is across that goal line. And so to overturn it, that ball almost comes out.
Almost. Well, this is a fitting fourth quarter to this game. No question about that. And still a lot of time left. 3 minutes and 37 seconds.
This is regardless of what happened. We're talking about Louisville stepping on the gas. Wake, not going away. And we said it earlier, 24 fourth or fifth year players for Wake Forest. There has been no panic and no quit in them. And this is also creating an environment to put way more pressure on a true freshman quarterback for Louisville should they get the football back.
The ruling on the field is a touchdown. Let's see if they back that up.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands.
Holy cow.
I mean, you were saying wow when we had 100 points, Dave. We're past that now. That was so last drive.
So last drive. Skiba's been a very busy man. He's on for the extra point. Trying to make it 55-52. And we've got a game here down the stretch. And what a game it's been. And he will stick that. 55-52 Louisville.
Wake has been doing so much on the perimeter. You see what happens here. Louisville ends up bringing the pressure. And Freudenthal, the tight end, is just going to hook up in that vacated zone. That's all he's going to do is just find that little soft spot where the linebacker blitzes from. And then it's just an awesome effort into the end zone. It's a great feel, good play design, and then outstanding effort. And we ended up having a great ball game as you get great effort by Freudenthal, the tight end, and then a little help from his buddy at wide receiver, the former quarterback, Hinton, pushing him in.
And that was after the recovery of the fumble on the onside kick. So we've had a little
of everything. Freudenthal, who, by the way, was the guy who was hit on the targeting penalty by Etheridge.
Look at these last three drives by Wake Forest. Just incredible. So Wake has one timeout remaining. Let's see how they play this.
And I don't know that I would kick a traditional onside kick here. There's a huge void. The deep left side of this return team.
Set up for the short kick again. It worked out beautifully the last time. Although there's a lot of time here. Another high hopper and a hit. But Louisville will have it. Devontae Pete hauled that one in, one of the wide receivers for the Cardinals. So 3:35 to go. And now the pressure is on the young quarterback of the Louisville Cardinals, Evan Conley. 1st and 10. But right at the 50. What a finish to this one.
And I wouldn't be surprised if we get one of those boot plays. Little play action in this drive. I don't know if we'll see it on first down, but it's been giving fits to this Wake defense.
Well, now we'll really see how the freshman will hold up Williams with the stop there on Hawkins to bring up second down. A loss of 2.
Here we go. Let's go.
Louisville up by 3. Hawkins in the backfield. Conley stepping up and sliding down. He gets 1 yard back.
And really, it's play action. He's trying to get a little hitch to his left. He doesn't like it. He's wise not to throw it. And it's great pursuit. And Kamara does a great job of just continuing to fight and play hard. And unfortunately for Wake Forest, he gets him before the slide starts. It's a smart timeout by Dave Clawson. And now you have this known passing situation. 3rd and 11. Be interesting to see if Satterfield trusts his true freshman quarterback to throw the football. Last time on a really 3rd and really long, we saw a quarterback draw. Would not be surprised to see something like that.
Well, that would come on 3rd and 11. No more timeouts left for Wake Forest with 2:52 to play. Although Wake is used to being in close games and winning them to this point. Undefeated right now at 5-0. Wins over Utah State, Rice, North Carolina, Elon, and Boston College. They beat BC by 3 points, 27-24. Their first 5-0 start since 2006. This one very much like last year. They defeated Louisville 56-35.
And if I'm Wake Forest, I'm playing coverage here. I'm playing coverage and rallying up and trying to make a tackle.
3rd and 11. Conley. Leaves the pocket. Across the 50 and diving ahead, and he lost the football. Looked like Louisville got it back. And I think he was down. And no fumble on the play.
Rolling on the field, the runner was down and made the line to gain. First down.
Well, he's definitely down in terms of possession. What'll be interesting is did he really have the line to gain? It's because Smenda tries to knock that football out. His knee is down right at the beginning of the 0 of that 40.
The line to gain was down. That play is under further review.
So another one under review.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's a full yard short as we stop the ball right there. He's clearly down. Louisville's possession, no question about that. But now you have a 4th and 1, and a 4th and a healthy one, depending on where they put this. And the question ends up being there. Then what do? 2 minutes and 43 seconds, even though there's no timeouts for this Wake Forest offense, seems like an eternity. And so do you end up trying to go for it on 4th and 1? With the way this band of brothers has played and the way that they have run the football, I would go for it on 4th and 1 in this situation on the plus 40.
And frankly, it would be a fitting call given what we've seen tonight and how this game has turned out. Just a wild first half and now a wilder finish.
But I think we agree, Dave, that he's down short of the line to gain.
Yes. Yeah, pretty significantly.
So
looks like a full yard. 2:43 to go. Play under review. They're still taking a look at whether he got the first down.
And if it's me, I've mentioned these play action boot plays that have been so good for Louisville. I mean, I think the only reason I'd be a little bit unsure to go to that is that the last time out, Conley had that layup right in front of him to Atwell that he short-armed. But I think you have good options if you're Scott Satterfield here on 4th and 1. If, in fact, they say he's short. You've run the football well. Your move the pocket plays have been fantastic. It would lead me to want to go for it. The other aspect of that is you think about Etheridge, who's the leader of that Louisville defense. He was disqualified in this football game because of targeting. So he's not available to you.
Well, you start spinning through your head all the things that have happened in this game. The catalog of things that have happened on both sides. You wonder, too, if the clock, and checking the clock here is something they're doing. 2:43 showing.
After further review, the runner was down and did not make the line to gain. It is 4th down and 1 from the 41-yard line on the left hash. Please reset the game clock to 2 minutes and 44 seconds. The clock will start on my signal.
So here it is, the play of the night on 4th and 1. And down the stretch we come. Resetting the clock to 2:44.
If
55-52 Louisville.
And if it was me, I would run right behind the hotel. 6'7", 370-pound Mekhi Becton.
Why not?
I would go right there.
Hawkins along with Conley in the backfield. Conley's proven to be a tough runner in his own right. 4th and 1. In a game that has seen so many plays, this is the play of the night. And a handoff. He actually keeps it. Now rushing. Here comes Conley. Conley for the end zone. Touchdown! Goodness gracious. Evan Conley. A tough runner indeed. What a call for the Cardinals. From 41 yards out.
Well, how about that trust in your true freshman quarterback? Talked about their move the pocket plays. It's just a kind of this unique mesh with Atwell coming in motion, Hawkins going up the field, and that Wake defense selling out.
And the extra point is up and good to make it 62-52.
You see the backfield motion. Here comes Atwell motion. Dawkins coming up in here. And when we clear it, you see what happens. It basically just ends up being a zone read with the end crashing. And Conley keeps it. I think he had the option to throw it too into the flat to Ford, but he just ends up keeping it and splitting the defense. And so as he reads Greer, the outside defender there, you see him close down. Just ends up keeping the football, and then how about the speed of the true freshman?
Wow.
To really finish this one off.
What a call and what a moment for him. You know, Satterfield has to love it. Conley was going to play for him at Appalachian State, and when Scott took the job here, Conley followed him. And look at the joy and a jubilant reaction for the Louisville Cardinals. What a call.
It's an incredible call, trusting your quarterback, and it seems like Wake Forest just has seen a few of these, you know, just kind of daggers to, you know, to kind of put them out of commission. None bigger than that one there, though.
So here's Bill Smith to bring it out. And no room. A flag is down. As he was taken down shy of the 15 by Troutman. 2:10 to go. But a flag on the play. And here's the ruling.
Holding during the return, number 85, receiving team. 10-yard penalty from the end of the run. First down.
The fourth ACC game with both teams scoring over 50 points in the history of the Atlantic Coast Conference. The first time since 2016. And Evan Conley, a legend, is born here tonight. And taking over for the injured Mikhail Cunningham and doing a tremendous job as a true freshman quarterback. And some magical stuff here in the final moments of the game. That'll be complete. And here's Surratt heading for the sideline and a stiff arm. 2:02 to go. Gain of 26. One thing is for sure, Wake keeps getting up and fighting time and time again. It's going to be off the fingertips of the tight end, incomplete.
And Louisville just basically had enough. I mean, they decided to double Surratt, and I think that is a wise thing to do. I would probably stick with that. They have Fago and Johnson really just basically vice covering Surratt, and I say, look, if you're going to score on us, it's going to have to be from somebody else.
Wake has gone over 600 yards in offense in this game, and will add to that, complete to Surratt, who's had 3 touchdown receptions tonight. Anthony Johnson stopping him, and another first down. A gain of 11. Hartman time to throw, unloads, and that's complete. Caught by Hinton. Hinton taken down inside the 30-yard line.
And we've praised Evan Conley, and I think Sam Hartman done a nice job also.
Hartman, that one nearly intercepted, incomplete. Broken up by Anthony Johnson, and actually hit him right in the chest. Hartman 8 out of 14, 145 yards, couple of touchdowns since coming on in relief of Newman. 1:23 to go. Wake on the move again. 62-52. Hartman again. Throws and completes to Surratt. He dusts the defender. Getting inside right to the pylon, but he's denied the end zone. 27-yard gain. A missed tackle by Johnson.
I mean, they're on the 1-yard line. This game's not over. I mean, it's incredible the way that these teams have continued to go up and down the field.
Hartman diving, and he's into the end zone for a touchdown. Incredible. And that was a blink of an eye. 1:05 to go, 92. Amazing. 62-58, and you've got to be kidding me. Sam Hartman diving for the end zone. And Skiba for another point after. Still time enough for something incredibly ridiculous to happen in this game, because we've been watching it all night long, and he hits that one.
There's still time for multiple crazy things to happen based on how this game's got. Hey, Dave, I know you're doing ACC basketball games this year. You're going to see some basketball games that don't score this many points.
I think you're right. 62-59. What a ball game. And look at Hartman on that sideline. And watch this now. This was the play where Conley, now, had he decided to go down here and then take a knee, he goes into the end zone, however.
Listen, you're right about that. There is no question that's the case. I can't imagine on 4th and 1
right.
that was a coaching point that was being made to their true freshman quarterback.
But you just think about it now, right?
Oh, now you're 100% correct that you'd be able to just run the clock out and the game would be over.
Yeah, it's very much a second guess. And
it is, but
not fair,
it
really.
would be the right coaching point.
I guess.
I just don't know that you have the ability to do it. You have the review of, hey, did you have a first down? Did you not? They did not. It was 4th and 1. Okay, we're calling a play. And so I think, Evan Conley's doing the right thing, but yeah.
There comes another onside kick for Wake Forest. And they had a fumble on one earlier, which led to a touchdown. And that's going to be loose, and it's kicked. It's free. Who's got it? A pile up on the play. Wake is signaling that they have it. Amazing, 1:05 to play. They can untangle this. And Louisville has the football with 1:05 to go. And that got hairy.
They got more than a little hairy. I mean, look at this. They had a great bounce against. Ricochets off a Louisville player. Hall's not able to recover it. Man, there's 3 Wake Forest players. Surratt, Hinton.
Oh, man.
They absolutely had a shot at it.
Running on the field, the ball was recovered by the receiving team. After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 3 of the receiving team. That's a 15-yard penalty. It'll be 1st and 10. That's number 3's first unsportsmanlike conduct foul. First down.
I'll tell you what, the feistiest guy in there is Tutu Atwell. He came up with that football, listed at 155.
155-pound receiver ripping the football away from, looked like Christian Beal-Smith, the running back. And, Beal-Smith looks like he's kind of got possession of the football, and Atwell's on top of him. And look at Clausen is furious because he feels like, he has the football. Beal-Smith has the football. I just don't know how, if they end up looking at this, that there would be a clear recovery that states otherwise.
Ruling on the field that the kick was recovered by the receiving team. The play is under further review.
I mean, that ball right there is in Beal-Smith's arm.
Ooh, it sure is.
That is his left arm. He's on it now. If he has possession of that football, he is down. And that ball didn't really look like it's moving there for a little while. I know we got it going in slow motion there. But Beal-Smith seems like he has it now.
It did not look like it was jarred free, Tim. Beal-Smith, he left the pile with the ball. And that's, of course, what led to the reaction by Clausen. And why he was so angry, he was absolutely convinced his man came up with it.
There's 3 Wake players, Hinton and Surratt, in there. That's a pretty good look at it. It's a great shot by our guys there. Beal-Smith, that ball is moving originally as he's trying to grab it. See it moving around, kind of regrips it.
And is Atwell on top of him?
I just don't know that the officials will have enough to say that there was a possession there, of which then he would have been ruled down. But because Beal-Smith is on his back and Atwell is on top of him, he kind of has the leverage to muscle the football away as they're fighting for the football.
All right, taking a long look, as you would assume at this one. And what has been an absolutely amazing football game. Louisville on top, 62-59 with 1:05 left.
It's been an amazing game. We've seen 4 quarterbacks, kickoff return for a touchdown, an onside kick, possibly 2 recovered.
Maybe 2.
Nearly 1,200 yards of offense.
Ruling on the field as Louisville recovers the onside kick, but they're still taking a very long look at this. And if I'm Scott Satterfield, the longer they look at this, the more nervous I get.
I would agree with you, because then at that point you're probably looking at the spot, clock.
Yeah, a lot going on here.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands. It's first down, Louisville.
You said it, 155-pound Tutu Atwell muscling that football out from Christian Beal-Smith, and what a night. And what a performance by Atwell, who has done a ton, including maybe the biggest play of the game there.
So Conley taking a knee. And Wake Forest, their perfect season in the balance here tonight. Louisville coming off an ACC victory over Boston College after losing 9 consecutive ACC games. Came in here and played an absolutely amazing football game. Both teams did. And some boos raining down from the Wake Forest fans. Did not like that final call there. But Wake Forest going down to defeat for the first time this season. It's a great win for the Louisville Cardinals, to improve to 4-2 and 2-1 in the ACC in a game that literally had a little bit of everything.
It had a little bit of everything and a lot of some stuff. And what it did have is a lot of great effort on both sides of the football for both teams. Had backup quarterbacks come in and play incredibly.
Yeah, 4 quarterbacks appearing in the game. The backups played a ton of snaps. Conley, of course, had the scamper into the end zone, which would provide the eventual margin of victory. And Wake Forest just kept coming back and coming back. Wake Forest ran, Tim, 102 plays in that football game.
Which just goes to show you that, you know, the toll it took on that Louisville defense, and it's why the performance on special teams for Louisville was so critical.
Let's go to Katie with Scott Satterfield.
Thanks, Dave. Scott, how's the heart rate?
I got nothing left. Both sides, man, what an incredible football game. I mean, the fight that Wake Forest showed and the fight that our guys showed, I mean, football a long time, never been a part of anything like this.
That's a lot of pressure for a true freshman quarterback to endure. What did you think of the poise he showed, and what gave you the confidence to let him lead your team to victory?
Yeah, you know, Evan's a great competitor, and he's so smart, and he's worked his tail off really the last 2 months, and just if we gets in a position like this to make a play, and he made it tonight, and I'm just so proud of him, and really just everybody. I mean, these games are so hard to win, and to pull it out like that, man, great effort.
That's 2 back-to-back hard-fought victories for your team. What are you learning about the team that you inherited?
Well, you know, the one thing we wanted to do was fight. We wanted to play hard, and that's what we've been able to do. So we continue to fight. We'll win some games.
Thanks for the time. Evan, what's going through your mind right now?
I'm just really overjoyed. It's awesome. Anytime you get to come out and play football, man, it's a lot of fun. And I'm just, you know, really happy. It was a great game. I really, you know, I didn't always play my best this game. Showed my age and a couple mistakes, but you know, had guys like Dez over here making great plays for me, and you know, it was all around fun game.
Despite those mistakes you mentioned, where do you think your poise comes from as a true freshman?
Really, it's just in preparation, I would say. You know, if you're prepared for the game, you're going to feel comfortable. And you know, our coach preaches on it, always being ready when next man's up. So you know, I just prepare every week like I'm going to play, and that's how it plays out.
After that long run for that touchdown, I heard what you said to your teammates on the sideline. You don't think you run a 5.1, do you?
No. So that's an inside joke from the quarterback group. Coach Ponce was messing with me on some run. I guess I wasn't running full speed, so he's like, no one wants to see your 5.1 40 run. Give it to the fast guy. So.
Now, you got emotional on the sideline with some of your teammates. This group has been through a lot of hardships. What did it mean for you to help them get this win?
I mean, it's awesome. you know, I've been with this team for as long as the staff's been here, so I've seen like the change and heard all the stories, what it was like and what everyone's gone through and how hard everyone's worked to get to that point. And you know, everyone's really come together as a family, and it's awesome to see and just awesome to be a part of.
Thanks for the time, Evan.
Thank you.
Dave.
All right, Katie, great job down there. Thank you very much. Young man has a terrific smile, too. Evan Conley and the freshman, talk about great smiles, leading Louisville to a rather astonishing win here tonight, 62-59, the final score. And it was an amazing game to cover, that's for sure. So much happened in the game, Tim. So much to talk about here, but